intelligence could spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object, and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out.
It was a rocket or whatever, but incredibly fast, opposite direction. It was too fast to be an airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
You said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please help me!
Aliens won't let it happen. You know, that's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 6, 3, 2, 9, 7.
Media doesn't have your best interest in mind. The government is self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness. Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange. I'm here without Ash tonight. He had some business to take care of, but don't we all? There are times when sometimes we manage our business, sometimes our business manages us, and I think we're all kind of in that boat right now. So we're doing this together. We've got each other, and yeah, that's what's on deck tonight. Per usual, if you guys know what this show's about, it's live. We do this live. It's what the hell night is it? I don't even know what day it is. They all blend together under quarantine. But let's see, is it Tuesday? Tuesday, I think it's Tuesday. That means it's show night. In any case, that means this show is live. So if you want to be a part of the show tonight, you can dial this phone number, just like this, 702-957-1037. That's the phone number. Join the Discord. You can find both the phone number and the Discord at troubledminds.org. And so you found yourself here. Welcome, of course. But what does that mean? What is here? What is this about? What are we doing? Why are we all doing this? Well, this show's about all the things we're not supposed to talk about. And I think, current events have kind of made us realize why the powers that be don't want us talking about things, right? Because maybe we start to realize as a group, as a collective, that maybe, just maybe, the illusion of society is not as robust, let's say, as they might make us believe. And so as a result, we talk about those things. We talk about the government. We talk about academia. We talk about major corporations. We talk about basically all of that, the 24-hour news cycle, lefty-righty politics in a non-political way, hopefully. What is it? Like, what is it all about? They tell us that everything's under control. Everybody relax. No panicking, right? And everything's shutting down. So so there we go. That's not really what this show's about tonight. We're going to have a little bit of fun tonight. So I figured we did some actual, Agenda 2030 and some, a little bit of FEMA camp stuff and, kind of the last time out. So I figured we'd be more on point if we just went straight for the throat here, straight for the jugular, topic wise. Not nobody's getting hurt, please. Everybody relax. But topic wise, and just went straight for the end of the world. So we're going to talk about some of the ways the world might end and how this in particular, this pandemic, as they call it, is maybe, I said it the last show, maybe it's a dress rehearsal for the eschaton, which means what? Yeah, that means that this may not be the end, but it makes us realize when you think how not robust society actually is. And Vladimir Lenin said that, I think the original quote was attributed to him, that civilization is 3 meals deep before chaos. And so this is where we're at. This is crazy stuff. So anyway, so what we're doing tonight is we're going to do some of that. We will do shout outs in chat. So if you want to be a part of the conversation, just type in chat where you're watching from. We'll shout you out as we go. And as always, type in the chat to join the conversation. I'll read as many comments as I can. But one more time, if you have to be on the show, if you have to get your comments in, you just dial this phone number one more time, 702-957-1037. We'll be doing this for a couple hours or more. We usually go between 2 and 3. Depends on your guys' interest and the topic at hand. So we have time for you tonight. So if you want to update, this is a perfect time, right, where you kind of want to get it off your chest. You want to tell the world what's happening in your neck of the woods. And this is where we get together and we're able to do that, right? You can call in. We don't screen calls. You can tell us what's happening out your way, which we'll get to in a sec. I'll tell you what's happening out my way, which we just got some news about an hour ago that's a little bit startling to me that we're kind of going there already. But so we'll talk about that. So this, while we're not talking directly about the coronavirus, if you have some fallout and some of that and you want to just clear the air, whatever, say hi. Lines are open. You're welcome. So there we go. All right. So we're gonna do some shout outs here. We'll get to the news, and then we'll get to the end of the world tonight, and maybe some of the different ways that the world might end. And as a added bonus, I've added aliens to the list. So there you go. For you alien lovers out there that love the topic and love to talk about it. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. That's what's on deck, and this is what this show's all about. It's about us. It's about us getting together and being able to talk about all the things in an open forum that we're not allowed to talk about. So there we go. That's where we're starting. We're going to start with shout outs on Facebook tonight. What's up, Chad? Chad gets first. How you doing? We got Mike. How you doing? We got Justin says first. Too late. Todd from Kentucky. How you doing? Let's see. We got Jose. What's up? Long time on here. Thanks for coming. We got Eric from Pittsburgh. Thanks for coming, buddy. We got, let's see. Mike says this is going to be interesting. I can only imagine. Well, this is as interesting as you guys want to make it, because it's your show too. So if you want to get on the show and talk about all kinds of stuff, I know there's Q and some other business that's going on. We're not going to touch that tonight. We're just not going to. We don't do that for the most part. It's very, very politically weighted, so we're not going to do some of that. If you guys want to talk about a little bit of that, you're welcome to. But let's not make this lefty righty stuff. What's up, Rajesh in Canada? How you doing, buddy? Thanks for showing up. We got Jose from Phoenix. We got Leanne, what's up? Lots of conspiracy tonight. Hell yeah. Yeah, lots. Chad, let's see. Elizabeth from Oregon, how you doing? We got Kelly from Colorado. I create frequencies and vibrations that alter future realities in the third dimension. He says that should be a t-shirt. Let's see. We got Sergio. What's up? Thanks for showing up. We got Todd. Yo. We got Red Sky. Cryptic measurements must be taken when waking up. All right. Come explain. What's up, Eric? What's up? Let's see. Who else do we got? We got Philip from Southern Oregon. How you doing? Checking in. Been gone a while, but you're back. You are always welcome, my friend. Thanks for coming back. We got Josh. Hola. What's up, buddy? We got who else? We got Sean, our favorite Canadian. What's up, my man? Thanks for being here. We got Matt from Cali. We got Josh. We got, let's see, Christian and Todd. I covered that. Okay, so that's who we got on Facebook. Now let's go check out the other places we stream, which of course would be YouTube and Mixer and Twitch and you name it. They're all over the place. So we got Paul. How you doing? Paul from let's see, from Texas. Paul from Texas. We got Robert. Thanks for being here. Eric from Pittsburgh. We got Lizzle Dags. What's up? We got Grant. Robert from Brownsville, Texas. We got Green Arrow from Washington. We got Timothy. What's up? Timothy, Tinfoil University. Booted from Facebook again. What's up? Timothy from Georgia. Thanks for showing up. Hey, I told you can't be saying the Z word. It's not zebra. If you say the Z word on Facebook, you get the boot. What's up, Dark Devious? Thanks for showing up. And Lizzle from Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska. There we go. So that catches us up. If I missed you, just type in the chat where you're listening from, and I'll shout you out as we go. And as always, if you have interesting stuff that needs to be added to the conversation, just type it in there. If I got the time and it makes sense, I'll read it. And one more time before we get this going, if you want to join, it's live. So 702-957-1037. That's a Vegas area code. It's where we're streaming from. It's where we do the show from. And if you don't like long distance or old school telephone style, just join the Discord. Go to troubleminds.org, click the Discord link, and you got the phone number there as well. And we'll get rolling. All right, let's see. John on YouTube, I see you there. Thanks for showing up. We got Nikki on Facebook. We got Marin. Hello. We got Sergio. Martial law. I don't know, man. I don't know. We talked about martial law a little bit in the last show, so if you want to check that out, that's not what's on deck tonight. We got some other stuff. We got more pressing business, the end of the world, which we'll get to, and some of the ways where it might happen. Okay, so let's get to the news. We're going to get to the news, and then, as always, right, this is our show, guys. So if you want to kind of get in here and co-opt this and tell us what's happening in your neck of the woods with the coronavirus, the pandemic, and what's getting shut down, you're more than welcome. That's why we do this live, so we can include you. All the ums and ahs and the non-perfection is to, so we can get together and have a conversation. That's what this is all about. Okay, so let's see. Let's pull up the news. Let's pull up the news that I pulled here, which I will update you on what it looks like in Nevada. Nevada, remember? Not Nevada. You say Nevada. And then, okay, here we go. So let's start with this. This is reported by the Las Vegas Sun, which is a cesspool, by the way. If anybody lives in Vegas, you know exactly what I mean. They're like the New York Times. They're just terrible. I'm not going to tell you what the Z word is, Paul. No, sorry. Ask Timothy. I'm not typing it. I'm not saying it. It gets you instantly banned. Okay, so here we go. This is from the Las Vegas Sun, and this is reported today, just an hour and a half ago, a couple hours ago. My friend just sent this to me. He was like, "Hey, check this out. This is going down." So this is Steve Sisolak, who's our governor here in Nevada. Has ordered a statewide shutdown of casinos and other non-essential businesses. So if I don't know what's happening in your neck of the woods, guys, but this is what's happening here. This is real. And so instead of it started with a couple casinos, first they shut down some buffets, and there were kind of some measures happening. They canceled all the sporting events, as we know. March Madness is canceled. Major League Baseball, right? All this stuff is canceled. The NBA is canceled. Whatever. But here we go. Now, it's not just some of these voluntary things. Now, the governor of my state has shut down all non-essential businesses, ordered them to shut down. So that includes, ordered a month-long closure, so 30 days of casinos and other non-essential businesses like bars, movie theaters, and gyms starting noon Wednesday, and restaurants to shutter their dining rooms and only offer takeout or delivery in order to stem the spread of the new coronavirus. So, wow. This is unprecedented is probably an understatement. I've taken the temperature, a little bit of polls out there from people I know. Can you remember anything in your lifetime? I said to these close folks, friends of mine, and they were like, the only thing I can really remember that might be anywhere close was like the gasoline shortage in, like, I think it was 1973. So where people were lined up around the corner to get gas from some shenanigans going on in the world. But I think these shenanigans are quite a bit different. Quite a bit. So what is this all about? What is this all about? I have no idea. Let's see. Who else? So did I miss some shout outs? I think we're good. Let's see. Surgery, martial law. We got, Rajesh in Ontario. Pretty much everything is already closed, much like what you're seeing in Nevada there. Thank you. Appreciate that. Todd, a casino is non-essential in Vegas. WTF? Yeah, exactly. What's up, John, in Kentucky? The Kentucky Derby is canceled, first time since World War II. Yeah, see? Like, these are the types of things that are happening now. And so I like to think that the world is overreacting in a good way, right? So maybe we can beat this sooner than later, and this doesn't spin out of control. But I don't know, right? Like the conspiratorial mind, and don't put words into my mouth and say I'm downplaying the seriousness of this virus. But I'm thinking that maybe the conspiratorial mind in me wants to say that is all of this instantly necessary. I'm not so sure. Dangerous, yes. I think the thing here, just kind of talking through it myself here as I think about it, is that since we can't actually guarantee people stay home, then we have to do kind of go to further measures. You see what I'm saying? So if you could just say, hey, look, everybody shelter in place, stay home, and you could confirm that within, like a reasonable amount, like a 90th percentile would do it, it would be enough. But I don't think we can guarantee that, right? So yeah, so we'll get to maybe some other means of shutting down the virus a little bit in the news tonight, which Axel from Twitter, he actually called in last time and talked about herd herd immunity. So we got some of that a little bit later, and instead of quarantining and shutting things down, I think the United Kingdom's doing things a little bit different. So we'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, so I want to know from you guys what's happening in your neck of the woods. So if things have gone this way and everything's shut down, did you get groceries? Did you not? Are you out of toilet paper? Did you get stuck on the back end of that? You like the wink wink, the back end of the toilet paper run? I hope not. But I don't know. Like again, I can only speak for myself, the people I know, family and friends, and that's it. So I don't know what's going on in your world, and let us know. I think this is the point where we can get together and talk about these things and share what's actually happening. So one more time, if you want to join the show, you know what to do. 702-957-1037 and join the Discord. You can do that by going to troubleminds.org, click the Discord link, and there we go. So watching for your calls tonight, and there's the first. So the Las Vegas Sun reports just an hour and a half ago, something like that Nevada has shut down all non-essential businesses. So what the hell, right? What the hell's going on here? Okay, so there we go. Now, I did see this a little bit earlier. Let's move on to the Politico. Did I link that last one? Yeah, I did. Okay, so Politico here is reporting that our good buddy in California, I like to report California because they seem to be on the tip of things, if you know what I mean. The tip of things. That Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, said tonight, this is March 17th. Oh, happy St. Patty's, by the way. I hope you guys are wearing green. I can't digitally pinch you if you're not, but well, that's probably unsafe with the 6 foot social distancing. But anyway, so there we go. So Gavin Newsom says, I don't think the schools are going to open again. Right? That seems a little doomsaying, apocalyptic. But so he says California schools will likely stay closed for the rest of the academic year over coronavirus concerns, Governor Gavin Newsom said on Tuesday, in a jaw-dropping prediction for families barely settling into new weekday routines with children at home. So I don't have to tell you guys, if anybody out there has kids or works in a daycare or any of this business, I tell you what, like, shit's getting hard, right? Shit's getting hard immediately. So if you have to find alternate ways to watch your children, I'm not really preaching to any choir here. If you already know this, this is bad news. And for the rest of the year, that would be till typically June, the end of May. Early June, I think, is when the schools shut down over here for summer vacation. So that would mean that we probably won't see school again. And this is just speaking from California, like a school for public schools, until that would be probably the end of August, right? And I think that's when it starts up again, maybe like August 20th or so, like last week, 10 days of August. So yeah, who knows? Like, this is crazy, right? Like, this is really going to make life hard for us and everybody else and the rest of everything. And like, what the hell's going on? Or we got a phone call. We're going to take this, but again, one more time, this is why we do this live, because we get to hear from you. We get to hear what's happening in your neck of the woods. So do call 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link. Go to troubleminds.org. You can find both, and we're going to take this phone call and find out what's happening in Florida. What's up? What's up, Joe from Florida? You're on Trouble Minds with Mike. How you doing, my man? How are you doing tonight?
I'm all right, man. I'm not looking forward to work tomorrow. I've been off since Thursday, thank God. I had taken some vacation time because the kids got spring break. I can tell you what's going on over here. They shut the bars down at 5 o'clock today. However, the big issue is everybody's been going to Clearwater Beach. There's plenty of videos of it. They're trying to keep it to 10 people or less, but it's the beach. On top of that, yesterday a buddy of mine's son works for the hospital in Orlando, and he got sent home. He actually got diagnosed. So he had 102 fever and trouble breathing. Today he seems to be doing better, but he worked for the hospital, and they sent him home with an inhaler and said, go home. That was it. The club that I go to, that's been open for over 25 years, is shut down. A lot of the people that work there, obviously they're straight tip, it's straight cash job. They're not going to be making money. I'm afraid to open up my emails and see what I've got going in tomorrow, even though I haven't had any widespread deaths here in Pinellas County. Like I said on my last phone call, in 2018, we had a pretty big year by about 50 more calls because of the flu, and that was just regular flu. The thing is with regular flu, and that's what I'm wondering, people don't take regular flu as serious as this. So again, in 2018, I have alluded to this before, we had a banner year. It was like 50 calls more we did, 50 to 75. But that was people just getting the flu, probably not expecting it and not taking precautions. So, not that I'm curious because this is really shitty for everybody, but I'll wonder what our average will be in the next couple of months. And I'll be able to see that also in theory when you hear about flattening the curve. If all these deaths happen all at once, then obviously in the next month or in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have a lot of overtime.
Yeah. So let me
is supposedly.
Let me get in here real quick.
Go ahead.
For folks that don't know, Joe is a funeral director. He actually does cremations and works in that line of business out in Florida. And so, if anybody would know if there's an uptick in let's say mortality rates as a result of this in Florida, his state, of course, then he would be one of the guys to know, right? Like you said, he's scared to look at his email because who knows what's on deck for tomorrow.
And then the other thing is, I guess my company, which, they're going to see money all the way around, and that's what drives me nuts. Because usually, times like this, like when we had the hurricane come through here, when we had Hurricane Irma, I was doing cremations for $500 or $600 just to help people, because usually we charge like $2,000 because we're a full-service funeral home, and that's what they want. So I'll be dealing with that. God forbid the numbers come in, because you're going to see a lot of people that are going to be totally unprepared. And I'm not going to turn somebody away. The only good thing that I heard is that they're encouraging us to do a lot of our paperwork online and DocuSign on contracts, which we can do. Technically, I could work from home, but we lack leadership, let alone in the country, let alone in my company. So I've got to go in tomorrow like a good little fucking soldier. And even though I don't deal with deceased people directly anymore, I have to meet with families. And if I have to meet with families face to face, that let's say their loved one died in a nursing home and they were there, then I could be at risk. Last week when I left, my boss didn't take any of this fucking shit seriously, but he doesn't have any kids. And who the hell knows, I might be walking in tomorrow to get written up and fired because they don't like me anyway, because I just tell them pretty much like it is. But then the other thing is too, a buddy of mine's a doctor for MedExpress. He had a little scary situation. He's got a girlfriend that she lives in England, and she comes to visit. Well, she was staying with him the last 2 weeks, and he basically just wanted to get rid of her. He needed his space, and he calls me. He's like, dude, what am I going to do to get her out of here? And I'm like, well, how was work today? And he tells me, he goes, I had a possible case, but I couldn't test them. And I keep seeing this in the news, and I thought it was fake. But apparently it's really true. He tells me, we can't test them because we don't have a goddamn test kit, and we have to send them to the health department. So long story short, and this is kind of funny, he basically had to go to his house and tell this girl, you got to get on a plane because I can't put you at risk. And the truth was, he just wanted to get rid of her because he wanted to be alone. But she got on a plane yesterday, and she barely got on a plane to get back to England. Like, the plane left Tampa, went to Texas, couldn't go to Ohio because it was madness, and left out of Texas to get over to fucking England. So he had to, dump her. Today, he had 2 more cases that were possible, but he can't test them. He said, I had 2 more cases that had flu. I had to send them to the health department. And the thing is we never get the results from the health department. So I can be sitting in it, and they've got to wear full protective equipment.
Yeah, so there we go. And this is the thing, right? God bless all you out there that have to go to work and deal with these things, right? Because many of us don't have to. Like we can stay home, work remotely. Many can't go to like let's say warehouse type jobs because you can't work remotely doing that. So they're home when this stuff gets shut down for non-essential business. But if you're talking about like EMTs, you're talking about nurses, you're talking about doctors, you're talking about police officers, firefighters, you're talking about people like Joe that work in funeral homes. Like these businesses still go on.
I got to pick them up.
You got to pick them up, yeah.
If I got to go pay, if we get that inundated, I mean, I've done everything in the company, so they might tell me, hey, can you cremate? Which I'll be honest with you, I'd rather be cremating people because they're dead. They're dead, and I can have my deer. God forgive me for saying it, but I can light the fires and fucking put them out. It's the living that we got to worry about. And I'm going to give you another example. My wife works in a nursing home a block away. Okay, and she's got clothing. She got a bag ready in case they lock it down. Nobody's allowed in or out. Okay, those old fucks in there, the rich ones, the really, really rich ones in independent living, they're complaining. They're complaining. I mean, they're bitching because they're trying to shelter and feed them in place. But the executive director over there is worried about his satisfaction scores. Like, that would mean a fucking thing right now. And they want to have like a salad bar or give people a choice or have a tray line when that's like a no, a big, big no. So you got that going on, right? And then you got the millennials, however you want to label them. You got the millennials that are at the beach. You could say the millennials learned it from watching the baby boomers. Who gives a fuck about anybody else but ourselves? And let's take it, let's not keep it for anybody. Let's take it.
Whoa. Okay? Come on now. We don't malign entire generations here. We don't malign entire generations. Just like I hate the term boomer, right? I hate the term boomer. Like the youngsters call the old people boomers. The older folks call the millennials lazy and all these other terrible. Come on now. There's fantastic people in all those generations. Just come on.
I'm messing with you. This is what it comes down to. This is what it comes down to me. When everybody's right, okay, we've been used to being right for a long, long time. When everybody's right, somebody's got to be wrong. You want to go out there and catch it? That's a true risk.
That's a true risk. And like I said, you're on the front line. You're dealing with this, and there's a lot of people that can't. I hear sirens in the back there on your phone.
I'm out in the backyard.
There you go.
It's really that good. I'm out in the backyard, man.
Yeah. I just heard a siren. Go ahead.
Can I leave you with this?
Yeah, you got it, buddy. Go ahead.
Leave you with this thought that I've been thinking a couple of things, and this goes on the conspiracy topic. I don't know if anybody's lungs would be ruined after this, like scarlet fever. Okay, meaning that if a lot of the population did get this and survived it, if the next round would take a lot more people out. That's one. Two, last week we talked about, I don't know if we talked about New World Order stuff, but I keep looking at it like this. If Trump indeed was fucking with the New World Order, okay, the Chinese want a plain politician in office that's going to coalesce to what they want. I mean, this is their 100-year plan. This is the art of war. If somebody ate live food in a fucking food market, then they're a bunch of morons. That's one. If it was released, we'll never know. Okay. I can tell you this. I had a couple of people that went voting today, and there was nobody. Okay, they had to vote in the primary here for Florida.
I heard that. It was like a ghost town.
Nobody went. Nobody went. Nobody was out. I had 2 or 3 people tell me they were the only ones. So that's what we're getting.
Yeah, like
that's what we're getting.
It's turning upside down, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff, man. Always great to hear from you. Good takes on everything, and one of those professions you work that we kind of forget about, right? You're kind of part of that invisible process of the economy of the from the life and death cycle. Like there's jobs and there's things that happen on that end too. So I appreciate your take, man. It's definitely unique and in this unique time.
I'll call you guys Friday.
Okay.
I'm going to let you go because I got to get up for work, but if you guys are on Friday, I'll call you Friday and let you know what my last 3 days of work are going to be.
Okay, appreciate that, my man. You were the best. Thanks again. That's Joe from Florida. Have a great night. Thanks for calling, man. And he's a funeral director out there, and so he's kind of got his ear to the ground, let's say, with mortality rates and these types of things. So if he starts flying off the charts with his work here, and it's not being reported in Florida, right? Because we've got the live trackers by Johns Hopkins and all this other stuff, right? If there's some crazy stuff starts happening and they're not attributing stuff to this disease, to this virus, to this COVID-19, then we got a problem, don't we? So again, if you guys work in hospitals or your EMTs or police, like I said, firefighters, there's folks that have to be out there on the front line of this, no matter how bad it gets. And to me, all of you are heroes. If you're in that, and like there's. The rest of us are relying on you. And so, God bless, all that good stuff. Prayers for them, everybody, the people that believe in it, good vibrations for the people that don't, all the rest of that, because there's an entire, like the front line, they say the thin blue line for the police, but there's literally like an entire line of people that are keeping chaos from reigning in the streets. So anyway, shout out to those folks. Here we go. A couple great comments as we keep on moving here. Let's see. Rajesh said a little bit better, or better to do too much than not enough. And I agree 100%. Good comment there. Let's see. Todd says the liquor store's still open. Yeah. Yippee-ki-yay. I hope so. What's up, Sherry? Thanks for showing up. I see Sherry there. Got Rolf. Thanks for showing up. We got Josh. Let's see. Who else? John, Sacramento, California County Board of Supervisors has given a directive for people to stay indoors except for getting groceries and essential medical appointments. They did not make an exception for jobs. So there you go. Sacramento County in California. Thanks, John, for that. Good updates. Let's see who else. Let's see who else. Let's see. John says on Facebook, "Hello, boys from Del Rio. I'm hanging out in Pigeon Forge at a Food City and a grand opening for 8 a.m. opening. Spending the night second in line." Wait, a Food City? Oh, I see. For groceries, right? You're waiting in line for groceries right now for an 8 a.m. opening. Is that what you're saying? Dear God, have we got there already? I hope you brought a jacket. Let's see what else. Okay, anyway, there we go. We'll read some good comments. Again, I can't read them all. If you guys want to be on the show, you know what to do, just like Joe called in from Florida, 702-957-1037. Taking your calls tonight. We don't screen them. You call, you dial the number. I'll pick it up. You get on the show. We talk about whatever. So we're talking about the end of the world tonight and some of the more interesting ways that can come about. More of like a tongue-in-cheek kind of is this how it ends? No, I don't think so. But I think it's important to maybe look at the ways that it could. And we did include alien invasion in the list. So there you go. So for the folks that want some more interesting speculation, we got that included for the end here. So stick around for that. But for the time being, we want to hear from you. If you are actually waiting in line and for groceries right now or something like that, like this is the type of stuff we need to hear. What's actually going on out there? Because remember, we can't trust the press. We can't trust the mainstream media. You turn on even local news and it's censored, it's filtered, it's all kinds of weird stuff. So we want to hear from you right now, completely unfiltered, and what's actually coming from your neighborhood. So there we go. Let's see. A couple good comments here. Let's see. Roland on YouTube, what's up, says Spanish flu of 1918. Remember our history. And so that's apparently it's non-politically correct to say Spanish flu now, by the way. So I think just using the term makes you racist, Roland. No, I'm just kidding. But there's been an effort by the social justice crew to do away with the Spanish flu. It's now trying to be called renamed the pandemic of 1918. Like so many things to worry about in this world, and we're trying to rewrite history to fit our current narrative, 1984 style. Let's see. So we got some good stuff. What's up? Casonia says, what's up? Thanks for showing up. An alien invasion at this point would be a total hoax in order to further scare people into listening to the hype of the government. I agree, 100%. We'll get to there. We'll talk about that. Let's see. Kelly says, now why would the government want you to go just to the government-ran health center? That's a good question. That's a good question. What's up, Steve? Thanks for showing up. Who else do we got here? We got, let's see, Larry. If I may ask Larry, what's up, Larry? Nothing can stop what is coming. Q, he says. QAnon. Let's see. Oh my God, I can't take anxiety, says Sherry. It's okay. We're here for you. We're here for you. Let's see. Josh says the polls closed here in Ohio. Okay, it did. I think Joe Biden won in a landslide. Yeah, let's see. Okay, anyway, so I can't read them all. Great comments, guys. Keep them coming. Do call if you want to be part of the show. There's the phone number, 702-957-1037. I'll do the fast talk when I do now because I've said it too many times. Join the Discord, troubleminds.org is the official website, and you can find the phone number in the Discord link there. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the next one here. So that's we started with here in Nevada, the all the essential stuff has been shut down. Gavin Newsom in California, the governor there, says that school will be out indefinitely, probably until at least until it starts up again in after the summer vacation. So that means people got to get used to how they're going to take care of kids and work. But maybe they don't have to worry about working if all the essential or non-essential businesses are getting shut down. Who knows? We got some crazy stuff. All right, let's do a fun one. Too much serious BS tonight. Let's switch to this. Let's look at this. All right, this is reported by thevintagenews.com, which is a pretty good website. Check it out. I'm linking it as always. You can always find our links and follow up on us that make sure we're not making this shit up because, well, it's well, you know, in a land of fake news, at least if we source the fake news, we can talk about it being propaganda and you know what the source is. We're just not just making shit up here. But anyway, okay, reported by the Vintage News. A man used giant penguin shoes to pull off the greatest footprint hoax in history. Look at this photograph. Okay, so let's burn through this really fast. In February 1948, a resident of Clearwater, Florida came face to face with something totally unexpected. Walking the beach one morning, he stumbled upon a set of remarkable footprints in the sand. And if you look at the photograph there, it looks like a large, let's try that again, a large, maybe dinosaur footprint, like 3 huge toes. You see the scale the size of a human hand there, that this thing's probably, let's say 3 to 5 times larger than a human hand, this footprint. It's gigantic. While they're enormous, about 14 inches long, 11 inches wide, the creature's tracks showed up on the beaches of various Florida towns for about 2 years. Its tracks were seen in towns between Clearwater and Sarasota, earning it the name Old Three Toes. During the time, several people claimed to have spotted the monster. For, of course, what else could it be? It was described as a large bird-like thing or a large furry log with a head shaped like a hog's. There you go. But yeah, of course, right? Of course. We in the land of crop circles, in the land of hoaxers, in the land of Photoshop and people doing CGI to fool the rest of us with some UFO sightings. And I wouldn't be surprised if the government was doing that too. Wink, wink, by the way. To the Stars Academy, I'm talking to you. So let's see. This turns out that it was a hoaxer. This guy actually. There's another photograph of the old three toes. That this guy, so 30 years later, on June 11th, 1988, the mystery was finally solved. The St. Petersburg Times wrote an article stating that Old Three Toes was a hoax. A man from Clearwater, Tony Singarini, had confessed that he and a prankster friend had been responsible for leaving the mysterious tracks all those years ago. The article's writer went to Singarini's auto shop to interview him, and while she was there, he showed her a pair of very large cast iron feet with 3 toes. Again, so this was a long time ago. This is 1948. So if this is the world we lived in then, and you know, with Instagram and all these attention whores, excuse the term, but you get my point, right? The people just trying to get every single amount of attention they can do by licking toilet seats and other incredibly stupid things people are doing on whatever they do on social media for attention, right? Like I'm not, yeah. Should I say it? No, I don't think I should say it. I'm not going to. I know all of you guys out there that listen to this are way too smart for this, but there's a thing going on that's called the Coronavirus Challenge, and I'm going to just let you imagine what that is. People doing stupid shit on social media. Okay, so anyway, just for attention, right? Just for attention. Like, what the hell's going on with that? But anyway, 1948, fake cast iron footprint of Old Three Toes stomping through Florida. There you go. There's your cryptid news for the day. Dear God, right? Dear God, the world we live in. Okay, so let's see. Again, so we're going to get to some more news tonight. It's just us. We have no co-host tonight. We have other things afoot, as everybody knows. Like, people have things to do. They have kids to try and arrange to be watched. They have maybe work problems they have to set up because things are shutting down. We have another looming problem, right? For people that don't have a nest egg, we have if non-essential businesses shut down, people have to pay bills, right? People have to pay mortgages. People have to buy food. People have to do all those things. People have to pay rent. It's this is quickly turning into a gigantic shit show. And if so, this is here's a good litmus test, right? So if we think the government has got our back when something bad happens, I suggest that this, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but let's say this is something bad happening, right? Wink, wink, maybe this is something bad going on. I heard 20% of the workforce may be laid off in the next 6 months. Who knows, right? Like, this is bad news. This is a lot of bad news. If anybody's watching the stock market, it's just free fall every single day. Bad news. This is bad. So if the folks out there are very, very into, let's say, keeping the government as a safety net, and knowing that they're there to take care of us no matter what, here's a perfect way for us to judge that in the next 6 months. Let's find out what happens. Red team, blue team, in between, no team. Let's keep an eye on this and see this. There's a term called the speed of government for a reason. So there we go. Oh dear Lord. Let's see. Okay, what else do we got? We got lots of good comments. Again, can't read them all. Again, if you guys want to be on the show, talk about what's happening in your neck of the woods with this unprecedented action going on with shutting stuff down, non-essential businesses and whatnot, schools. Give us a call, 702-957-1037. Do the Fast Talk Discord. Join that by going to troubleminds.org, and you can, there you go, be on the show. All right, so let's move on here. Let's move on to the next. Let's see. What do we got? Okay, footprint. Here we go. Check this out. This is pretty cool. I thought this was telling in the vein of fake footprints from a cast iron three-toed footprint going on. This is reported by ScienceAlert.com, and headline: Entire collection of Dead Sea Scroll fragments at U.S. Museum turns out to be fake. You guys heard of the Dead Sea Scrolls? Yeah, me too. Remember, they say that's one of the oldest biblical remnants, and that it's even in many cases like word for word to be like exact with the New Testament. And so they and even some of the Old Testament books and some of the Gnostic texts came out of this. Who knows, right? So anyway, a thorough investigation of one of the world's most valuable collections of Dead Sea Scroll fragments has revealed a shocking truth. Not one of the collection's 16 fragments analyzed is authentic. Wow. Fakes. I'm telling you what, fakes. We got fake footprints. We got fake Bigfoots. We got fake Dead Sea Scrolls. We got fake. Holy shit, right? The world we live in. Okay, we got some other stuff to get to, like the end of the world, right? I don't think we have to hurry to get to the end of the world, do we? Okay, maybe. All right, let's move on. This is reported by FoxNews.com, one of the most trusted news and source, which is trusted sources in news, sorry, which is not quite CNN, but you get the point. All right, so this is, again, reported by Fox News. Chinese tycoon vanishes after calling Xi a clown and slamming the government's handling of COVID-19. Xi would be, of course, the president or prime minister or a dictator of China, Xi Jinping. Yeah, there we go. I thought this was interesting to point out that this is the type of stuff that happens in places where you can't speak out. And here we are doing it, right? Like I said, it's still not illegal here in our jurisdiction where we're speaking out, where we're talking about these things, where nobody pays us to run their narrative. We run our own. So anyway, just pointing this out, terrible things happen when people speak out worldwide, and this is bad. Okay? No, okay. All right. Let's see. What else? Let's scan some comments here. Let's see. Sherry says, got a rogue bobcat here killing livestock. That's not good. No good. Chad says, keep washing your hands and passing that money around. There you go. That's lick the money before you stick it in the stripper's underpants. Kelly says, what did I say about the truth written in stone, my brother? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Johnson on YouTube says, Mike, me and Dwayne are trying to get a mate, get our mate on the show. Responsible for most crop circles in the UK. Yeah, do it. Get him on here. I'd love to hear about it. So if he's making crop circles and faking stuff, that's what this is about, right? That's what this show's about, and we can kind of ask him his motivations and the rest of that. I remember you pointing that out quite a ways back. So if you can get him on the show, let us know. Love to have that guy on the show. Okay, so let's see. JJ says, is it fake or the asshole's just trying to discredit the Bible again? Yeah, well, I think it goes both ways though too, right? So there's people like making fake documents to validate the Bible. So I think, again, right, in a world of propaganda, who knows which side it's coming from. So I mean that's very smart to point that out. You're correct, but it goes both ways. It definitely goes both ways. Let's see. Casonia says an attempt to discredit the knowledge gained from the Dead Sea Scrolls because now is the time for it to be utilized. And that could very well be. I'm not saying this is definitely the case. Again, we live in a propaganda world, so who knows which side this comes from. And et cetera, so on. So anyway, there we go. Let's keep moving here. We got so that was the Chinese. All right, check this one out. This is crazy. Now I don't know if you guys heard about this. This is some coronavirus news. That the UK, again, Axel from Twitter pointed this out. Thanks. He called us last time and pointed this out. I hadn't heard of this. But I guess the United Kingdom is pulling this strategy that's called herd immunity. You guys heard of this? You guys heard of this? Okay, so this is on Twitter, reported by Bill Neely. Breaking: the entire UK strategy for fighting coronavirus was based on false analysis. Scientists advising the government now say the UK only realized in the last few days that its coronavirus strategy would likely result in hundreds of thousands of deaths. And it's a BuzzFeed article. I'm not going to click that because F you, BuzzFeed. But here's another one. So what exactly is what was their strategy? It was that herd immunity, which I hadn't heard of. And again, special thanks to Axel on Twitter for pointing this out last time he called. This is what's going on. Now this is a doctor who's been kind of at the front of the pandemic here, and I'll get you his name in a sec. But he actually discusses what herd immunity means and why this is a bad idea. But apparently this is the official stance of how the United Kingdom is trying to handle this. And essentially what they're saying is they want anybody under the age of, say, I think was it 60? Anybody under 60, something like that. Just go about your regular lives, right? But everybody older than 60, just like shelter in place, stay home, right? Well, of course, like I said in the beginning of the show, if you can actually count on that being the case, it might be a proper strategy. But then you get Jimmy visiting his grandma and things like this, right? And and then you're not really protecting people by spreading the shit out. Anyway, let's see what this guy has to say about this. It's a quick video, minute or so. Allow me to drink some beer and catch my breath. But yeah, what do you guys think? Have you heard of this herd immunity bit? And here's the doctor here trying to tell us why this is a bad idea, I believe. Action.
So herd immunity is a strategy that only supposed to be done when you have a vaccine. I want to be clear. Herd immunity is not a strategy when you don't have a vaccine. The concept is that if you're in a crowded room and you have the virus, and the chance of it skipping over to me on the other side of the room is much smaller if everyone in the middle of the room has immunity. Basically, they form a wall between you on your far side and me. But if very few people have it, then it can transmit between person to person and bounce to me. But this only works, first of all, once you have up to like 60 or 70% at minimum immune. And secondly, you do not want 60 or 70% of your population, like 60 million people in the UK, to be sick so that you help protect the remaining 40%. Because this virus has a 1 to 3% mortality, which is 10 times to 30 times higher than the flu. That kind of level of mortality on 60% of your population in order to protect the remaining 40 is not a strategy unless you have a vaccine. You don't want to get there by making people sick so that you get there. Does that make sense? It's just so dangerous of a strategy without a vaccine.
There you go. So here's the actual Twitter post if you guys want to follow up and check this out. The doctor here is, what is his name? I got him on Twitter here. His name is, what is it? Dr. Eric Ding. There you go. Link in this and you guys can check it out. So he's actually Johnson on YouTube says that won't see him again. He's actually an American, so we might. But okay, there we go. So you get it, right? This is Dr. Eric Ding. He's on Twitter. You can follow this guy if you guys want to. Some really smart stuff. He's been on the tip of this and gained a ton of followers for. There he is on the right side there. Eric Fengel Ding is what Dr. Eric Ding on on Twitter. So if you want to follow him, so smart guy, but he's talking about herd immunity and why this will not work in this instance, and what the hell's going on. Have you guys heard of this? Did you hear about herd immunity? I had not, and so that seems like a bad idea to me. Let's see. Okay. 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 Caught up on comments. Again, live show. If you guys want to be part of it, it's Tuesday night. It's everything's been locked down. The world's on lockdown, right? What's going on in your jurisdiction, in your neighborhood? We'd like to know because we can't trust the press, right? We get together, we talk about these things unfiltered, and share our stories from different parts of the world. 702-957-1037. Join the Discord, troubleminds.org. You can find both of those and tell us what's going on in your neck of the woods. And okay, there we go. So there's almost through the news here. Taking our time tonight because without a co-host, it's a little bit harder to fill the air, and drink beer at the same time. Drinking and talking really doesn't work at the same time. So you catch my meaning. Okay, so yeah, and there's no troubled minds without a little bit of beer involved, right? Okay, so here we go. This is reported by the AP. Now, this is kind of maybe linking to some of you folks that are into the QAnon, or not, but maybe some people that just follow politics in general. But reported by the AP, feds dropping case for 2 Russian companies in troll probe. So everybody remembers the Russian collusion and this whole bit, and how there was that what's his name, Rosenstein, had the press conference where he was pressing charges against these Russians that would never be indicted because, well, they'd have to be extradited and Putin would never allow it. Anyway, so there we go. The feds are dropping the case for the 2 Russian companies in the troll probe. Yeah. So and this is why we can't have nice things. This is why we don't trust the Department of Justice. This is why we don't trust the powers that be, because they do things for political reasons. And no matter where you fall on the spectrum here, of the political wise, like why do we bother? Like it's like we go through motions to drive the news cycle from government, and Operation Mockingbird, right? The media and the press are the same. Or I'm sorry, the media and the government are the same. I mean. Yeah. Anyway, just LOL if you ask me. All right. Anyway, a couple more here. Let's see. Yep. That's true. What happens if you break a coronavirus quarantine in the U.S.? Here we go. This is reported by the USA Today. The USA Today. Kelly's right. These are just stories. These are only stories. But as reported by these sources. So whether these are true, whether they want us to believe these things, who knows? Like that's why we do the show. Is this all propaganda? It could be. Literally 90% of what we talk about could be propaganda. So just FYI. Okay, so always be on your guard. Okay, so there we go. So a Missouri man who's been accused of breaking a self-quarantine as a family member was sickened with the new coronavirus, was admonished by God damn, I botched that. A Missouri man who has been accused of breaking a self-quarantine as a family member, his family member was sickened with the new coronavirus, was admonished by officials who warned that if it happened again, he and his family would be required to stay put by the force of law. Yeah. Does that mean someone could face prison time for breaking a quarantine? In some cases, yes. Quote, isolation for public health purposes may be voluntary or compelled by federal, state, or local public health order. The Federal Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says on its website. One more time. I'm going to read that one more time. Yeah. Isolation for public health purposes may be voluntary or compelled by federal, state, or local public health order. The Federal Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said on its website. And remember, we talked about this with the drive-through checks, right? It's free. Like Kelly pointing this out, happening in Colorado, his home state. They got these drive-through things where you come through and they like beep your forehead or whatever and do a test right there. Like I said, what happens? What happens if you test positive and they say, well, now you have to quarantine? And you're like, okay, I'll go right home, sir or ma'am, or whoever's administering the test. And they're like, nope. And they drag you out of the car, right? Yeah, it's possible. Now, not to fearmonger, but this is a possibility of things as our our civilization starts to fray at the edges. I'm not claiming anything's breaking down yet, but anyway, so this is possible. It's a thing. So there we go. I don't know how that makes you feel, but yep. Okay, let's see. What else? Let's see. Kelly says that's called Operation Mockingbird. Government equals fake news, and that's completely right. Completely right. Okay, one more news here, and then we'll get to the end of the world. Again, there's no hurry to get to the end of the world, right? I mean, it's going to come when it comes, and nothing we can do can change that, or can it? So here we go. So there's one more. This is reported by HongKongFP.com, and you can imagine where this is headed because of the source. It says, headline, China may have prevented 95% of virus cases if it enacted measures after silenced whistleblowers' warning. And so remember, we talked about this. So they, instead of trying to get the word out on what was happening over there, they were censoring information. They were shutting down the internet. Well, I don't think they went to that degree because they already have the Great Firewall of China, but they were shutting down people that were trying to get information out and arresting them and the rest of the stuff. So bad news, right? Like a government gets involved, things, let's say, in my opinion, as much as they get better, they also get worse, right? It just depends on the situation. Anyway, what do you think? It doesn't matter what I think. That's the important part here. Talking about this stuff and seeing, again, making our own narrative. So if you guys want to be part of the show, you know what to do. We're going to just talk about the end of the world in just a sec here and the different ways where it might happen, kind of tongue-in-cheek a little bit, thumbing our nose at the universe and saying, hey, come get us, right? Like, we are human, hear us roar. But that's kind of the idea of the show. Kind of like it seems a little bit dark, but it's actually, in my opinion, it's a little bit funny. Because, here's some of the things that we can be talking about as maybe the world will end or not, or, some sort of cartoon version of that. But if you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037, join the Discord, go to troubleminds.org. That's the official website. Join us and we will hear what you got to do, what you got going on. Let's see. What else? Oh, setting in the queue. All right. Let's get Sean in here. Let's get Sean, our favorite Canadian from the caller queue. All right. Can we do this? Let's do this. Sean, what's up, my man? Sean from Canada. You're on Trouble Minds with Mike. Yeah, how you doing, my man? What's on your mind tonight? Testing 1 2. Hold on. Keep talking. It might be me. Keep talking. Let's see. We got that. We got this. Let's do that. I don't hear you, man. I don't hear you. If you're there, I do not hear you. Okay, maybe Discord's broken tonight. I didn't do a sound check because I didn't have a co-host in Discord. Are you there? Testing 1 2. Sean from Canada, our favorite Canadian. All right. I don't hear you. I don't see you broadcasting either, so maybe you missed it. Just let me know. We'll try it again a little bit. It could be me. It could very well be me because I messed with my settings because things don't stay static from day to day with what I'm doing here. Okay. So anyway, there we go. Let's see. Grandma Ninja 101. I see you on Twitch. Thanks for showing up. Hello, Trouble Minds. Hello, Grandma Ninja. Let's see. And adds, I think there is possibly something more than just a virus going on. All right, that's cool. Let's hear it. Again, let's hear it. What do you guys think? Like I've seen some of the Q stuff. I'm not convinced myself, but I'm not a Q follower. But I'm open to be convinced. That's the thing, right? Like if you guys have good information and you want to share it and say that there's some very specific information that lines up with what's being reported, let's look at it, right? I mean, that's what we're here doing. That's what we're here talking about. So there we go. Anyway, all right. So let's move on. Let's move on to the end of the world. So again, like I said, a little bit tongue-in-cheek. I was thinking about the show tonight, and I was like, well, let's do something that's not quite coronavirus, but something that's a little more in line with what may be going on right now. And so I kind of made the comment last show, and again, that was tongue-in-cheek as well, that we were doing this coronavirus bit, COVID-19, all the business is shutting down, the run on groceries, right? The panic buying. It seems like that we're doing a dress rehearsal for the end of the world, right? Or for the eschaton is another way to put it. The eschaton is like, we'll get to that in a sec. But it kind of got me thinking, like, wait a minute, so if this is the case and we're doing like the dress rehearsal for the end of the world with grocery runs and not believing the government and the press and full tinfoil hats getting strapped on by people that normies, let's say, people that aren't even suspicious, but in most cases, who don't even ever think about this type of thing. But people are getting suspicious and worried now. What would be a way that we could actually maybe bring about the end of the world and be prepared for the next time, let's say, after this one blows over? Because, I'm pretty confident this is going to blow over one way or the other. We're going to get through this, guys. Nobody worry. This is not, again, remember, this is tongue-in-cheek. We're doing the end of the world tonight to thumb our nose at the universe and say, we are humans, hear us roar. Remember, that's the goal here. This is not gloom and doom. We're not doing this as OMG, get the guns. We're not doing that. Don't do that. Don't do that, guys. That's not time for that. But the kind of the idea is a little bit of chuckle there. I laugh. Is when is that time? when will that be? So there we go. Okay. So all right. So let's start with this. I mentioned the eschaton. Well, if you remember, like we talk about this from time to time as this pops up. This is the bulletin.org and the doomsday clock. Does everybody remember the doomsday clock? Like the doomsday clock that's run by these scientists. It was actually kind of like an atomic thing. The Science and Security Board bulletin of the atomic scientists, and this thing got really close to so basically, for those of you who don't know, the doomsday clock is something they update every year, and they tick it 1 minute closer to midnight type of thing, or closer and closer. And they say that when it gets to midnight, it's the end of the world happens, right? It's some sort of atomic catastrophe, whether it's nuclear war or whether it's something like this. It's the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. So of course it's some sort of nuclear war, or right? It's atom bombs, whatever. Like whatever the term is these days, who knows? Because it changes so often depending on what the technology is of the militaries of the world. It could be what do the Russians have, or the Chinese have? What are they called? Hypersonic weapons, right? Like these types of things. They can all cause like gigantic explosions and fallout. Anyway, so blah, blah, so on and so forth. Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists says that they reported this year in January, this is January 23rd, 2020, that the doomsday clock is 100 seconds to midnight, right? So midnight being the end of the world, we're 100 seconds to midnight on the clock. So here we go. Let's see. So just a little background on this real fast. Editor's note. Founded in 1945 by University of Chicago scientists who had helped develop the first atomic weapons in the Manhattan Project. That's a whole other show in itself. The Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists created the doomsday clock 2 years later using the imagery of apocalypse, which would be midnight on the clock, and the contemporary idiom of nuclear explosion to convey threats to humanity and the planet. So there we go. We have a little bit of a maybe not so scientific thing by scientists. It's a little bit of hyperbole, a little bit of what would you call it? A little bit of marketing, a little bit of marketing by the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists. So no offense, this is a good thing, warning humanity that we're maybe we're close. But they say we're 100 seconds to midnight. But I wonder if in their calculations, by their estimation, that we're not taking these other things into account, which would be what, like a pandemic? Do you know anything about that? Yeah, no. Nobody knows anything about a pandemic right now, right? Yeah, we're all experts. Okay, so anyway, here we go. So another way to put the end of things is the eschaton. If you guys have never heard this term, it's pretty cool. It's like a religious term. Here we go. And the eschaton means the end. And this is from andrewcorbett.net. I don't know who this fellow is. Seems like a fine fellow. But on his website, he says the end. That's what the Greek word eschaton means. But a question that some are asking now on his website, he says, the end of what? I think that's a good question. But there we go. So there's the end in Greek. The Greek word eschaton means the end. So instead of the end of the world, we're going to use the term eschaton interchangeably tonight, so you know what's going on. And here we go. From the Free Dictionary, let's see. freedictionary.com. Let's let Microsoft Mike read this so I can take a swig of beer here. But this is from the New Testament. This is what eschaton is defined as, and we'll continue on some of the ways that we're going to get to the eschaton. Here we go, action.
Day at the end of time following Armageddon, when God will decree the fates of all individual humans according to the good and evil of their earthly lives.
There you go. So that's what the eschaton is. The day at the end of time following Armageddon, when God will decree the fates of all individual humans according to the good and evil of their earthly lives. So it's this is Armageddon, right? Like this is that's a way to put it. I see the phone call there. We'll take that in just a sec. Hang on, don't go away. Yeah, so this is the end of the world. This is eschaton. Eschaton means it's a religious term that means the end times, judgment day, when our souls go before the Creator to be judged, right? End of the world type stuff. So there we go. We'll keep on moving here, and we're going to get to maybe some of the ways that the eschaton will be ushered in. So we're going to take this, and hey, perfect timing, Larry from Oklahoma. What's up, my man? What's on your mind tonight? How are you?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Doing fine in the apocalypse. Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Apoco, whatever the hell it's called.
No joke.
Yeah. All right. What's on your mind tonight, my man?
Well, I wanted to call. I haven't called in a little while. kind of wondering how you was doing, man.
Good enough. Like as good as can be. I mean, considering the circumstances, I think I'm probably in a similar boat to many others. So I can't really say that I'm sitting pretty or anything. But
You're dang right.
things are okay. Things are okay. How about you?
We're all human and we're all in this boat together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How about you? How's things on your end?
Doing all right. Shelves are getting empty here in Oklahoma, and they like it's getting empty on some foods and on bottled water. It is empty.
Okay, which is seems pretty standard, yeah. I mean that's pretty standard across the board from what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
crazy,
see,
right?
Is, like for the people who don't know. Okay, this isn't just in New York City, and this isn't just in LA. This is nationwide that this stuff is going on. As a matter of fact, this is worldwide because it's not just in the United States. I think that's what's really freaky to people is whenever they realize that part. It's not your local area. It's everywhere.
Yeah, no, exactly. And so,
it's not,
and so different areas are going to be different.
Your home country.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. It's every country.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, we're in this together. This is one of those things where it kind of will test your faith in humanity a little bit. Will test your faith in government a little bit. May test your faith in the heavens a little bit, right? Like who knows? Like, don't get rattled. Yeah. Don't get rattled. I think we're gonna get through this just fine. It's just I think the thing that is the most unnerving is not knowing, right? Not knowing exactly when. Like even like a ballpark estimate. Yeah. Like some people are saying, Trump actually said recently, July, August, right? Like imagine if conditions here stay that long. So I mean, it's freaking people out. Again, like I said, the stock market's in free fall. Like people are hoarding groceries. I mean, if it gets any worse, if any little tiny thing happens right now, the civilization is kind of on the fritz, on the fraying on the edges. Like I said, I don't know. So, how are you feeling out there with the since Larry is the only officially ordained minister of troubled minds? I've took the liberty of ordaining him myself. How do you think this sits biblically? Is this do you think this is the end times, or do you think this is something a little bit different than that? Is this really the eschaton?
But it says that in the end times there will be pestilence.
Pestilence, right? Pestilence, yep.
Yeah, and that after the fourth horseman, the one that's named Death is upon the pale horse. That all four of the horsemen would have the power of a third of the earth, and that they would kill with hunger, death, beasts of the earth, and I think that beasts of the earth kind of includes even the things that we can't see. Like it doesn't mean that it's a cow that they're killing with.
Yeah, so you're saying that it could be the virus. The beasts of the earth. It could be the virus. Yeah, yeah. So that fits scripture is kind of what you're saying, and maybe this is what leads to pestilence, leads to a starvation. Yeah,
could be.
Could be.
The locusts in have you seen that? The locusts that have been going wild in like Africa and like they've been going crazy in like Africa and then like up towards Asia, I believe, like a big ass swarm of locusts.
Yeah, this is actually like a ways back, like probably a month back. So there's like an entire locust swarm that's completely out of control, and they're having a hard time controlling it. This is the thing. That's biblical as hell. Pardon my French.
Man, yeah, well, and that's what I'm saying too. Like, I mean, as far as just clean words and stuff like that. I don't know a single person on this planet who's not cussing right now. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, I'm
like
not.
This is the most messed up stuff that we have seen in a long time.
A long time. We're talking World War type long time. Yeah, well, this is crazy. Definitely unprecedented.
And I mean, I think that some people can keep themselves reasonably safe from this virus. But the scariest thing is this ain't the end, man.
No, this is not the end.
This is not even close.
Yeah, no. The end of the pandemic here, or the end of times. We're talking about two things.
Well, I mean the end of anything. It is not even close.
Thank you. I agree. I couldn't agree more. This is not the end. This is not the end of anything.
It's not close. I mean, I know that the current circumstances seem horrible. Man, this is a drop in the freaking bucket. You think that things ain't gonna get worse from here? Well, I mean, congratulations for being so blissfully ignorant. But I'm telling you right now, things are about to get a lot worse.
Okay.
After this pandemic cleans up, and even probably before this pandemic cleans up, what's happening is you're going to have starving people, okay, who can't earn a living anymore. And you have a gun per person in the United States. Yeah, no, hold on. This is the worst it's going to get, right? Yeah. No,
Yeah, hold on.
A lot worse from here on out.
Okay, well, again, like I said, this will definitely test the leadership of government, won't it? This will definitely test the infrastructure we have in place. This will definitely test our faith in each other. This will test humanity in a lot of ways, right? So this is not just one thing. This is many things that all need to come together. But I don't share your pessimism. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. But I don't think this is the end of things. I don't think we're going to be shooting each other. I don't think it's going to come to that. That's one man's opinion. It just it doesn't feel that way, you know. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm a knucklehead. I've been called worse. Who knows? So what do you think?
Trust me, I've been called worse.
Yeah, no sweat, whatever. Call us names, big deal. Sticks and stones. Okay, but here's the thing. So we got to get moving on. So final thought here. Do you think that this has some sort of biblical inclination, some sort of end of times, or do you think it's just this is going to blow over? It's going to be all good. What's your take on this? And then we'll keep on moving here.
All right, I would say that there's no doubt that if this wasn't named by the pestilence phrase that was used when describing the last of times, I believe that if this wasn't it, then y'all better buckle up. All of us.
I agree. Yeah. Again, we're in this together. This is not me or you. Like somebody's safe and somebody else isn't. Or this is if it gets bad, we're in this together. Okay, so you think it is? You think we're on the precipice here? You think it like somebody sneezes the wrong direction, this whole thing tips, and it turns all bad, right? That's kind of what you're saying.
I do. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, there we go. I'm gonna pray. Go ahead.
I'll give a little bit more detail on this probably Tuesday. If not, it'll be Friday.
Yeah, no sweat. We're here for you. I'm thinking of adding a stream per week because I figure many people are in lockdown, many people are quarantined, many people don't have a lot of things to do. So I'm thinking of maybe adding a stream per week. If you want that, everybody smash in the chat. Tell me how much you want that, or if you don't, you want me to rest and come back fresh and strong. Go ahead and let me know if you want an extra stream. I'm considering it. I'm highly considering it because I realize that in stress times, maybe we need this outlet to get together and be able to call in and talk about this stuff and share our stories. I appreciate, Larry. You were the man. Anything else, real quick, before we let you go?
Hold on. Yes, I do have one more thing.
Okay, go for it. Go for it, man.
You really don't understand how important your show is going to become, buddy.
Thank you. I mean,
there's going to be responsibilities that are put on you that you would have never even thought. Whenever you were in like, let's say 6th grade, buddy. Whenever you were in 6th grade and you heard about the government's kind of like aligning whenever World War II was going on, and how like Churchill and the United States government was communicating and all those things. I'm telling you, that is how important your show is going to become. Because there's a way for us to get information from New York to California. Because the thing that people haven't thought about is they've thought about, oh, well, China has been suppressing information getting out. Who's to say that they haven't been keeping information from going to, Hong Kong to, who the heck knows? But I'm saying, like, the information could be in just Hong Kong and not another part of China. They can be cutting off the conversation from more than just country to country. It could be parts of the country from parts of the country.
Yeah. Again, unprecedented times. So the censorship is real, and it's not just in China. It happens here. And I'm with you, man. Let me tell you this. You say the show is going to become more important than I can ever fathom. I paraphrased you there. I'm honored if that's the case, and I'm also ready. So if that's what we're doing, if this is how this is going to be, let's do this together. So I appreciate it, man. You were the best. Right. Thank you for calling. Larry from Oklahoma. God bless you. Prayers for your family and everybody else. Hopefully you send him back our way. Thank you, my man. There we go. There's Larry from Oklahoma. Again, see how easy it is? You pick up the phone, you call, you get on the show. 702-957-1037. Go to troubleminds.org, click the Discord link. Bam, Mike talks fast. And you can, troubleminds.org, the official website. And again, Larry, the only officially ordained minister of Troubled Minds, because, well, it's our inside joke, because he calls often. And there you go. If you want your own inside joke, call often, and we'll set one up for you too. But this is what I'm talking about, right? This is crazy stuff. This is crazy stuff. So we have biblical takes, we have secular takes, we have everything in between. And how do you feel about it? I think that's the thing here. That's the question. How do you feel about this? And how do you feel about where we're headed? Do you trust the government? Do you hope that let's say 20% layoffs are in the cards, and people have to pay rent and mortgages? And like I said, this is a whole new set of challenges like we've never seen. And so we're about to see how the powers that be, the folks that so many people trust. Oh boy. There we go. All right. Okay. Rolf has a good point, says, what happens when they take over the internet? I think then dark times indeed is what I think. That's what I think. Okay. So there we go. Let's keep moving with Eschaton and the end of the world here. And again, like I said, tongue in cheek, I'm not claiming this is the end of the world. I'm just kind of saying, well, let's thumb our nose at the universe and say, we're humans. We stand together. We're going to do this, and this the way it has to be. All right, so there we go. Eschaton. I think I beat that into the ground. Oh, and real quick, so I want to point this out. So there's this thing called. I'm going to link this real quick. This is from the Ministry of Truth from Wikipedia here, and it's called. I'll let Mike read it because I don't know how to say that word. Right, that's a nice advantage of having him. But here we go. I'm linking this, and you guys can check this out. But this is so with the Eschaton and the end of times. There's a thing called immanentize the Eschaton, I think is what it's called. Here we go. So I'm gonna let Microsoft Mike read this properly, and then we'll keep on moving here. So and I'll take a swig of beer and action. Here we go. So this is actually taking the Eschaton, end of times, and trying to make it happen in the real world, right? Paraphrase. Here we go. Here's the actual selection. Go.
In political theory and theology, To immanentize the Eschaton means trying to bring about the Eschaton, the final, heaven-like stage of history, in the immanent world. In all these contexts it means trying to make that which belongs to the afterlife happen here and now, on earth.
Okay, so there we go. So trying to bring about the end of times, right? So immanentize the eschaton, he says. So I'm going to say it that way. He says eschaton. I'm saying the eschaton. I'm just leaving it that way. Okay, so meaning that there are people, there are cults out there, there are organizations out there that think that they can bring about the end of times and usher in the return of Jesus or whatever it is, whatever it happens to be, right? It's a little bit dark to me, right? Like trying to bring about, like actively take steps to bring about the end of the world, right? And I use the term often. It's very comic book supervillain, right? And you think, nah, the world doesn't work like that, does it? Come on, right? No. Check this out. Check this out. Reported by Time.com. Yeah, that's right. The South Korean cult at center of local coronavirus outbreak. And I don't know if you saw this. I think we probably mentioned this in passing, but never actually covered it. And I thought it fit in pretty well here to the stories tonight. So there's actually like a cult here. Oh, here we go. Let me read some of this from Time.com. I linked it. You guys can check it out. A mysterious religious group described by the government of South Korea as a cult has emerged as a hotbed of new coronavirus cases, according to official statistics. And this is like this was February 20th. This was a few weeks back, maybe a month ago almost. But this is when South Korea, their cases jumped off the chain here when it finally got there. They're actually saying that these folks were responsible for a lot of it. So here we go. So at least 33 of South Korea's 104 confirmed cases as of February 20th are linked to the, I can't say this, Shincheonji sect. Here we go. Let's Microsoft Mike read this. Let's see if he can read whatever this is, Korean. Here we go. And action.
At least 33 of South Korea's 104 confirmed cases as of February 20th are linked to the Shincheonji sect, which is also known as Church of Jesus, the Temple of the Tabernacle of the Testimony.
There you go, the Shincheonji sect. Thanks, Microsoft Mike, you're the best. And if anybody doesn't know how to do that and you want to be able to do that, there's a new browser called Microsoft Edge. And so it has like it built in. You just highlight the text, you right click, and you read it aloud. It'll read it to you. Pretty cool stuff. It's built in. Okay, so anyway, there we go. So the Church of Jesus, the Temple of the Tabernacle of the Testimony. But these guys are actually out there trying to get the disease and trying to expose their local community to bring about the return of Jesus or whatever deity they serve, because I don't quite think Jesus would do that. One guy's opinion, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so anyway, and here's another one. So reported by the ChicagoTribune.com, linking this in the chat there if you guys want to check it out. And here we go. Let's see. All right, so we got Chicago Tribune. He blames evil for South Korea's coronavirus surge. Officials blame him. So this is Seoul, South Korea. To his followers, he's a descendant of the ancient kings who ruled Korea centuries ago. The angel Jesus sent for mankind, and the one and only counselor who can interpret the symbols and secret codes hidden in the Bible's book of Revelation. Well, Lee Man-hee is his name. The 88-year-old enigmatic founder of the Shincheonji Church, thanks Microsoft Mike, is now trying to defend his group while challenging the accusations against it. So they're saying that he's the guy that's been leading this. He's trying to bring about the end of times by spreading this thing. So anyway, there we go. There's a couple articles if you haven't heard of this. There's a couple keywords if you want to do some research and follow up. I didn't think it was too tangenty that we spent a bunch of time on it, but I did want to point out if you guys hadn't heard of it. So pretty crazy stuff. Let's see. What do we got here? Let's see. Yeah, two-way radio is a good point there. I think I may have to get into some of that. I think that's probably my next step here. Now that I've got the appropriate essentials, maybe a two-way radio will be the next thing. And you won't need a ham license because, well, the government breaks down. You don't need one, right? Let's see. JJ says when communications go down, that's when you'll know. 3 military rules: cut their communication, ability to move, and ability to shoot. So. Yeah, crazy stuff, right? Crazy stuff. Brandon, what's up, says, REM said it best. It's the end of the world as we know it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. Okay, let's see. Other good comments? Good comments. Let's see. Worf, what's up? I came in at the wrong time. No, you didn't. welcome. You came at the right time. Let's see. What else do we got? Okay, so again, live show. If you guys want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. Join the Discord. Troubleminds.org is the official website. You can find both of them there. I'll do the fast talk because I've said it all kinds of times now. But all right, so then there we go. So here's, as I was going through this and was like, all right, here's the end of the world and all the rest of this business, right? Again, tongue in cheek, everybody relax. It's not the actual end of the world. We're just kind of talking about this as a, let's say, an entertainment, because I don't think we're there. I don't think we're close to that. It's just, it's about being prepared, I think. And I think that's really what I want to talk about tonight, and why you should be prepared for a bunch of other things, because I don't think this is the end. So, there we go. One knucklehead's opinion with a microphone on the internet. But here we go. So here's one that kind of sits in our favor, right? So here's some list of dates predicted for apocalyptic events. And one more time, this is from Ministry of Truth. This is Wikipedia. I'm not going to read a bunch of this crap because blah blah. The source sucks balls. Pardon my French. And the I'm going to bore you by reading a list. But there's a few on here, right? So these are past predictions of the end of the world, the actual apocalyptic events. I said it right that time, I think. Here we go. So we got in 66 to 70 CE, we got the Jewish Essene sect of the ascetics saw the Jewish uprising against the Romans in 66 to 70 in Judea as the final end time battle, right? There we go. All the way back. 66 to 70 CE, we got the 375 to 400, the Martin of Tours, this French bishop, stated that the world would be end before 400 AD, writing, "There is no doubt that the Antichrist has already been born, firmly established already in his early years. He will, after reaching maturity, achieve supreme power." There we go. Anyway, long list of end of the world type situations, year after year after year after year. You see how long this list is. Anyway, I think it bodes well for us that we've seen some pretty heinous shit go down throughout time, throughout history, even dating back to a couple thousand years ago. This huge list of end of times apocalyptic scenarios, and we're still here. So there we go. I think there we go. Let's wind that out as the intro as hopefully a positive intro. A positive intro. All right. Let's see. What else do we got? So let's see. Reading some comments here. Again, if you guys want to be on the show, you know what to do. Dial that phone number. And so we're going to get into some of the ways. All right. So there's a few ways here. I got some clips to play. We're going to play these. There's a few ways that, again, tongue in cheek, that the end of the world can come. Right, I'm just saying, let's be prepared, because this is not the end. This COVID-19 is not the end. This is testing our resolve as humans, right, and our ability to band together and make things happen. So we're taking this as positively, and then the rest of this end of the world stuff is, like I said, tongue in cheek. So everybody relax. This is not the end of the world. We're just kind of talking about it. Here we go. So we got how about this? What happens? So I picked a few of the more likely ones, and of course we'll end with aliens. So this show, everything's on the table. We talk about this stuff all the time, even the more outlandish stuff that people don't want to touch. So we're going to get there. We're going to get to alien invasion tonight. That's where we're going to end. So if you guys have comments on that or anything in between, we're gonna motor through this and talk about what the real end of the world may bring. And this is not it. One man's opinion. So here we go. So the first one I pulled out was, of course, would be, naturally, it's been happening since it ended the dinosaurs. We're going to go with the meteor strike. Let's play a clip here or two on what this looks like and how it might bring down the doom and the gloom. Again, we're having a good time tonight, guys. Nobody despair. We've got each other. All right, here we go. Clip one: meteor, end of the world. If you can laugh at that, action.
What if this football field-sized space rock didn't make that turn? What if it kept moving towards us? Would it disintegrate in our atmosphere? If not, how much time would we have to get out of the danger zone? And just how big would that danger zone be? Could our planet have any chance of surviving the collision? This is What If, and here's what would happen if an asteroid hit the Earth. Asteroids are hitting the Earth all the time. Every day, space bombards us with about 100 tons of dust and sand. Car-sized asteroids make it to our atmosphere about once a year. They burn up in the mesosphere, never reaching Earth's surface. The massive 10-kilometer wide, life-threatening rocks, like the one that wiped out the dinosaurs, don't come by too often, maybe once every few million years. The ones we do have to worry about are asteroids the size of a football field that actually make it to Earth's surface. Meteorites. They tend to come down to Earth every 2,000 years. What if one of those was to hit us tonight? The extent of an asteroid's devastation to our planet all comes down to where it lands. Just 3% of Earth's surface is populated, That means, in all likelihood, 97 asteroids out of 100 would just plunge into the ocean, or flatten an uninhabited forest somewhere in Siberia or northern Canada. But 3 out of 100 asteroids would strike a populated city.
Okay, there we go. So asteroid strike, right? Like, I think that's a legit end of the world, right? If we're going to, like speculate on how the end really comes, and I don't mean in our lifetimes, guys. I mean like we're let's say 10,000 years from now, right? These are the types of things we're talking about. Nobody needs to worry. No panic. This is not fear mongering. We're again. Tongue in cheek, end of the world. Everybody relax. We may as well play that song from REM because why the hell not, right? It's a apocalyptic, tongue in cheek, makes you smile. That's the idea here. So okay, so that's the first take, right? We have some sort of a asteroid impact. It has to be a particular size. It's if it's bigger than a football field, like a mile wide, we have serious trouble. We're talking like a dinosaur extinction event, right? Like 65 million years ago. I'd like to say Chicxulub, the Chicxulub impact crater in wherever it is. Whatever country that is, just off the coast of Belize, I believe, or wherever down there, Mexico. But okay, so let's see. Okay, so all right, here we go. All right, so there's part one. There's part one of the meteor strike, right? So it has to get through our atmosphere, which protects the shit out of us. Has done for a very long time, admirably. Thank you very much, Mother Earth, the Gaia hypothesis, or whoever put it in place, whatever you believe. But okay, so very, very nice. Like we get to survive a lot of the small ones, but the big ones are serious problems, right? So there's meteor strike part one. Let's play part two, the clip here, and then again we're talking about the end of the world tonight, guys, but kind of in a fun way. So we're gonna end with alien invasion. That's how fun, right? How fun is that? How fun is that? Yeah. All right. So we'll get there. So we got a couple ways. Of course, meteor strike is going to be one of the most basic. It's a natural thing. Sherry there says the ETs will take care of us with the meteors. Okay. I believe that. I hope that's the case, that we have somebody looking out for us. That would be amazing. All right. So let's go clip 2 of the meteor. We'll take some calls if you got them, read some comments, and then we'll move on to a few other. I picked out 4 different ways the world might end that is not a pandemic, because I think at this point we've probably heard way too much about pandemics, right? So there we go. All right, so here we go. Part 2, the meteor strike action.
Imagine seeing a 100-meter long rock speeding towards you, traveling at 30 kilometers per second. From the moment it passed unharmed through the mesosphere, it would take less than 3 seconds to crash down to Earth. For a city like New York, that would mean over 2.5 million casualties. A huge fireball would destroy everything in a 3-kilometer radius and cause heavy damage to buildings within a 7-kilometer radius. Maybe it's not all bad. Ever hear of the meteorite that slammed into the Russian city of Chelyabinsk? That rock exploded with the force of 20 Hiroshima bombs and caused around $33 million worth of damage. Well, in our scenario, the meteorite is 5 times bigger. The freshly fallen space rock may pose the risk of widespread radiation if it were made up of radioactive heavy metals. Of course, it wouldn't be as bad as a 10-kilometer wide asteroid hitting the Earth. In that case, the shock wave would be enough to wipe out a good chunk of humanity right away. The Earth would get a new crater over 100 kilometers across, and a ring of asteroid debris would give us a Saturn-like appearance. Most of this debris would rain back down on Earth, setting cities and forests on fire and cooking everything that's not protected. You might want to invest in an underground bunker before this happens, because on the surface, it will be very, very dusty. All this dust and smoke would block the sunlight. Without the sun, all plants and a lot of animals would die out. After about a year, the atmosphere would clear up, but there would be very little food left for humans. And if we weren't resourceful enough, this would be the end of our race. We would suffer the same fate as the dinosaurs did 65 million years ago. The good thing is, we have the atmosphere to protect us from most asteroids, and NASA to keep an eye on all the space rocks.
End of the world scenarios, right? A meteor strike. What are you guys' takes on that? Again, we do this live because we want to include you. How do you feel about COVID-19? Everybody's locked down. If you want to tell us your story about that, we're an open forum for that type of stuff. If you want to say what's happening in your neck of the woods, groceries, or shutting down, whatever they're shutting down. Like I said, in Nevada here, they've actually called for a shutdown of all non-essential business. So there's all kinds of let's say crazy stuff happening. All kinds of crap I was about to say. I'll just say it. I'll just go out and come out and say it. All kinds of crap happening. But the thing is that the Operation Mockingbird is in full effect with the CIA and in league with the media. It has been, and will continue to be. We can't trust that garbage. We know it. So we have each other to report news to each other. So again, that's why we do it live. One more time, Colin, if you want to update what's going on in your neck of the woods. We heard from Larry in Oklahoma. We heard from Joe in Florida. And what's actually happening out there, what's happening in your jurisdiction. If you want to give us a call, 702-957-1037. Join the Discord. You can find both at troubleminds.org, and we'll keep on moving. And how do you feel about that asteroid impact? Do you think that's a thing? You think that's a thing? Kelly on Facebook says, I say the asteroid theory is iffy. Because why are there asteroids found in areas where there was no impact craters? And the ones found would and the size of them would have ended the world. I guess it depends on when they landed, right? I guess that's a good point. But yeah, if you, again, Kelly, you know what to do if you want to be part of this. And great take as always. Let's see. Larry says Nibiru debris field. Yeah, it could be Nibiru. It could be. Let's see. Sherry says there's a planet 60 times bigger than us northeast, and it's so close. I think. Is that Nibiru? Is that Tiamat? What is that? Like, what's actually going on out there? Todd says, finally a beer and it's a shot at tequila. Life is good now. Well, cheers, buddy. Cheers, buddy. Paul says on YouTube, did anyone hear we have a second moon? I did hear that. I think we covered that briefly. It's like the size of a Volkswagen, right? I think so. Anyway, so there we go. There's one way the world might end, right? Again, we're going to get to alien invasion, guys. Hang in there. We'll get there tonight. We're going to end with what if the aliens invade, and not like a false flag attack, like actually what happens if it's like Independence Day movie style alien invasion. So we'll get to some of that and talk about that. But how do you feel about the meteor strike? Do you think that's more likely? Do you think NASA has our back and we'll actually be able to keep the meteors out of the sky, from hitting us? We've had that. We've got some more recent examples. I think it was 1906 with what was that one in Russia? It was called It'll Come to Me. Tunguska. It wiped like an unbelievable amount of square miles or kilometers of wherever you're from, and like kind of a nuclear blast, like kind of it was a sky detonation, I believe. So anyway, like we have some recent examples in the last 150 years of these things happening, right? We had that one in Russia, I think that was 2006, they said, or 2010, something like that. Recently, where they had one explode in the sky, did like $36 million in damage, something like that, and broke windows and scared the piss out of people. But yeah, this is a possibility. So do you think that we actually have a chance of this, or do you think that we should trust NASA and the powers that be to wrangle the asteroids and Armageddon style with Bruce Willis and the crew to send them up there and shoo it away? Christian says, Mike, you're a bad boy. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm a bad boy. You should see my tattoo. You want to see my tat? No, I'm just kidding. I don't have any tats. Yeah, I'm bad. I'm a bad boy. I'm a bad boy. I agree. Okay, so okay, there we go. So let's see. Here's a good one. Let's go to this. secretsofsurvival.com/asteroid. Check this out. This is how to survive an asteroid impact. We'll burn through this real fast, and then we'll get to the next one, which is might be a little bit more or less interesting to you guys, but I guess we'll see. I guess we'll find out. Here we go. So this is, again, secretsofsurvival.com/asteroid. And how to survive a collision with an asteroid, right? No. Okay, I'm not going to read this. I'm just not going to read this. I did link it if you guys want to check it out. I have a bunch more links here that you could... here's another one. Bigthink.com. Could modern humans survive an asteroid impact like what killed the dinosaurs? Here we go. Throwing some links out. I'm not going to read this stuff because it seems a little bit outlandish and speculative. And if we're going to do that, we may as well talk about aliens. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Okay, anyway, so if the bolide had hit just 30 seconds later, we'd be looking at a very different Earth. And so there we go. Blah, blah, another article, could humans survive, yada, yada, so on and so forth. Here's a good news one, reported by Fox News one more time. I'm going to just burn through these so we can get to the next one. A bizarre turtle managed to survive asteroid that wiped out dinosaurs. So there's hope, right? I mean, turtles have shells, right? The bizarre turtle or whatever. And it's so this little guy, L. relicta, a stem turtle, which means it can be traced back to the earliest turtles, however, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so the physical limitation allowed it to develop other protective mechanisms such as an armor with large mutually linked spikes that were hard structures located on the neck, legs, and tail. Which, right? So if the turtle was able to survive the impact and the fallout and everything else, then I guess that bodes well for humans, right? Because we, much like Fortnite, if anybody plays that game, you can build your own shell. You can build your own turtle shell. I've only played it once, by the way, and then I instantly quit because it sucked. Well, but anyway, there you go. Hi, Fortnite. Okay, so here we go. So there is some hope, right? A bizarre turtle managed to survive, and humans have the ability to build turtles themselves. So, right, build turtle shells themselves. So there we go. And here's 6 reasons animals survive the asteroids. There's another link. Dropping these in there. Not going to go through these. This was kind of for filler reference and whatnot. So here you go. Dropping these in. You guys can check these out. We're going to play a couple more clips, and we're going to move on to the next one. Which would be, of course, what would the next one be? The next one would be, let's see, where are we at? All right, so we had the asteroid impact. How about good old-fashioned Cold War nuclear weapons? How about that? Let's go with that. Let's do that real fast. The old-fashioned, the old Cold War scare tactic of nuclear winter, the Cuban Missile Crisis. What happens if this thing actually lands and smashes or whatever the hell? We end up shooting each other, make Earth a shooting gallery, and turn this into nuclear winter. Let's find out. Let's find out what these guys say. Some of the experts or some of the other great creators on YouTube. Also, these clips are from YouTube, so I will link where these the sources came from. And they'll be part underneath on YouTube as always. Always link the sources because it's important. A lot of people do a lot of good work where we can lean on. And do check it out. I will link as we go, and you'll be able to find it on YouTube and then eventually the website when it makes it up there. But here we go. Good old-fashioned nuclear winter. Let's see what happens with when nukes hit the Earth. Shooting gallery action.
But then came something that would forever change perception of the bomb. It started in the hospitals.
A mysterious illness began to spread. I noticed it from about the 4th day. Of course, it had been there all along, but I thought people were dying of severe burns.
The woman who lost her children in the fires, Shige Hiratsuka, and her husband were amongst those affected.
They lined my bed up next to my husband's and took his test first. When they had taken enough blood for the sample, they withdrew the needle. But the blood wouldn't stop. Nothing worked, whatever they did. Even when they applied pressure, it carried on bleeding. During this time, purple spots began breaking out all over my husband's body. He then vomited a large amount of brown liquid. Afterwards, he went limp and died an hour later. He had managed to survive that far, but then even he was taken away from me.
Okay, I apologize there. We have that got a little dark. So unfortunately, we do have data from what happens when you drop an atomic bomb, a nuke, so to speak, on which of course aren't exactly the same thing, but you get the point, right? Like huge devastation, nuclear fallout. We do have Nagasaki, Hiroshima, however you want to say it. I'm not Japanese, forgive me for mispronouncing all of the above, but it's a terrible time in history, right? Like back to the World War, and like we're saying, like unprecedented times now, which really don't even equate to world wars, or does it? Like at least in our lifetime, right? Like the World War II was almost 80 years ago, right? A long ass time ago. So I mean, there's unfortunately we don't have like a meteor impact data with humans living on the Earth, right? In a huge capacity, but unfortunately we do have data for nuclear and atomic bombs dropped on population. So that kind of sucks. Sorry for the dark one there. It was a little dark, but I think there you go. I think that definitely, if everybody starts firing them around, you know what happens at the end of the world. It's nuclear fallout. People get sick. things start happening and people start dying and losing hair and all the rest of that. So anyway, let's go with another one here. I don't think this next one's as dark as that last one, but let's So part 2 of nuclear winter, nuclear war. If that's how the end of the world comes, then this is another take on that. So hopefully it's not as dark. Forgive me. Part 2. I laugh. Gallows humor. Action.
Her husband was one of thousands who would die from this new and untreatable condition.
They were rotting. It was necrosis. There were no white blood cells, so the blood had no power to fight against infection, and so suddenly the rotting set in. In the end, the hair would start to fall out. When you put your hand on the patient's head, tufts of hair would come away in your hand.
It emerged that those who were worst affected had been close to the hypocenter, or had swallowed radioactive material, like the people.
I'm calling an audible, and that's just too dark. That's just too, like I was putting a show together. I thought it was, we'd be able to roll through that and not turn this dark. All right, I'm going to kill that. But you get the point, right? This is not funny. A lot less funny because, again, we have actual data that represents what happens when we shoot nukes at each other, when we drop atomic bombs on each other. This is not sunshine and roses like somebody said. No, who said this? Let's see. Gibby, what's up? Gibby on Twitch says, "End of the world isn't sunshine and rainbows," and that's for sure. Like I said, gallows humor. Forgive my laughing. That's not funny. Like there's some terrible things that happen with that, and we do have data regarding that. So there we go. There's another way the end of the world happens, right? Nuclear winter, nuclear war, radiation sickness, and the rest of that comes with it. Let's go to. So that was World War II. Let's go to something a little more modern, right? When before they had the technology to do this or realized it was a thing. How about an EMP? Does anybody know what that is? An EMP. Yeah. So it's again has to do with nukes, but it has a completely different effect. It's not like trying to actually like incinerate people and give them radiation sickness and kill them slowly or any of that. It has nothing to do with that. EMP is a little bit different. It does have to do with nuclear weapons, but let's see what that's all about. And then we don't have modern actual data backing this up of it happening over like a large population center. So I guess this is going to be a little bit more, little less dark, let's say, because it's speculative, right? It has not happened yet. But this is one of the threats that different state actors have over each other, that they could always cause this, which might actually have a higher and more deadly impact just over a longer period of time. So here we go. Here's what an EMP would be. One more time, we're talking about the end of the world, guys, and hopefully in a lighthearted way. That last couple clips was not lighthearted, so again, apologies for that. Let's see what this looks like. Maybe Mike's dark humor came through in the clips. Like my goldfish brain, I can't even remember what these are because I did it 3 hours ago. So anyway, here we go. Let's play this. EMP, end of the world, part 1, action.
An electromagnetic pulse attack, or EMP. It's been the stuff of fiction on the Fox show 24.
It's an EMP!
But it's also a real threat, experts say, and it likely wouldn't look like that. An EMP attack, they say, is an intense burst of electromagnetic radiation. It can be triggered by detonating a nuclear weapon at high altitude.
Okay, I guess because because my audio thing is taking a crap, maybe we're going to just skip straight to aliens. Okay, so basically, yeah, here we go. If you guys know anything about an EMP, it's so you shoot a nuke in the air above a population center, but what happens is it kind of fries all the electronics within the radius of this blast, depending on how large the blast is itself, how low or high it is in or above the atmosphere or below the atmosphere. And so these are the types of things that is like more of a modern threat, right? So if you can shoot a nuke at like a population center and have devastating effect, like short term, and then also some long term, and which will be bad news, right? Because then other people start shooting nukes and all the rest of this. But if you shoot a couple or three over, like, let's say an area as big as the entire United States, you have the ability to cripple electronics, satellite communications, the satellites themselves. Literally, like all the banking goes down, the stock market dies. Like almost every single thing we use in a modern manner ends up being fried, being killed dead, right? And so where the people themselves won't have like an immediate impact, it will literally throw us back hundreds of years in technology, because every single thing that we rely on today is fried. And so that's there we go. There's the EMP. I'll play the second clip and see if it's just the one clip. It might be the memory leak on my computer, but whatever. Brandon, what's up on Facebook says, imagine all the toilet paper we'd need to stockpile if we had an EMP. And I agree 100%. That would be frightening, right? We get a little pandemic, everybody gets dusted up, all angry, and they go buy all the toilet paper. Dear God, I have no idea. Let's see. Dexterous Dan, electromagnetic pulse. I see you there on YouTube. Thanks for showing up. Green Arrow, electromagnetic pulse. Yes, you guys are all correct. When does this show usually live stream? We go Tuesdays and we go Fridays, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. That's when we do it. And yeah, there we go. That's when we usually stream. So there you go. And all right, so we're talking to EMPs. We're talking the end of the world. And we talked about a meteor strike. We talked about a very morbid and dark nuclear winter type situation with some testimony or some stories from World War II, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and yeah. So now we're on EMPs, and again, this is kind of like to show us that we're just not there yet, guys. If you want the end of the world, if you think this is the end of the world, first, if you want the end of the world, you're sick. Second, if you think this is the end of the world, I think there are worse things that could happen to us. That's kind of the point, right? Again, tongue in cheek, thumbing our nose at the universe, saying we are human, hear us roar. Like I said a couple times now, it's just that's what this is about. Like, hopefully entertaining, hopefully a way to take our mind off what's actually happening and think about all the greater, more nasty things that could happen to us. All right, so we're gonna get to alien invasion last. So here we go. All right, so EMP. Part 2. Let's see. If it keeps stuttering and stammering, this sucks because I got some sweet alien clips to play. So let's go with EMP Part 2 and see if my memory leak holds up, or if not, then we're going to have to just, we'll solo it out. I'll just talk to finish this out. All right, here we go. So action EMP Part 2.
A nuclear EMP, or electromagnetic pulse, is the electric shock wave triggered by a nuclear blast. It has the ability to fry every single electronic circuit in its range, destroying most devices unless they're shielded. The higher the altitude a nuclear weapon detonates, the wider the effect is over its target. All right, so what does this mean? It means once an EMP goes off, everything affected by it goes dark. Literally. A single nuclear bomb exploding high enough can destroy a country's ability to light its streets, power its hospitals, run its stock exchange, access the internet, or use a phone. Most trappings of the 21st century would simply stop working. No car or plane would move, no police officer or fireman could be called, no supermarket restocked. Modern life as we know it would simply cease to exist. North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un has threatened to do just this, to detonate a single nuclear weapon high up in the atmosphere above the United States. And while very little blast damage would be felt, more than 320 million Americans would suddenly find themselves fighting for survival, without power, without lights, and running out of food. Protection against this kind of attack is enormously expensive, the price tag running into the billions and not guaranteed to work. And although some exaggerated estimates claim up to 90% of Americans would die as a consequence, one thing's for sure, it would take months, if not years, for the country to fully recover.
There you go. That's a little bit more peppy, right? A little more peppy, positive end of the world, if there's such a thing. Where it's speculation, right? We haven't actually faced this yet. We don't have some dark, terrible accounts and data on this and what actually happens. But how terrifying is that? 90% of the population of the United States. Of course, this is centered around the United States because they think they're the center of the universe and all this other bullshit. Say whatever you want about that, right? But of course, it goes for every other country that uses any sort of technology. This works the same for everybody. And so if you're able to nuke all of the electronics, all of the satellite communications, all of the everything, supply chains break down, all et cetera, so on, it ends up being a slow, long, nasty apocalypse, like the zombie apocalypse, because people turn into zombies because they're trying to kill each other for what food is left, right? It's bad. It's definitely bad news, and hopefully we don't get there. Again, like I said, speculative. A couple good comments here. Cole, what's up on Facebook says this EMP strike brought to you by PBR. There you go. Maybe I got to contact them. Let's see. Sean, our favorite Canadian, says you don't need a nuke for an EMP. It can be done without one. There you go. And Kelly says solar flare can cause one as well, and that's true. All that is true. Let's see, as well as an asteroid. Yep, true. Michael says, well, hold on, we got some good stuff here. Brandon says the toilet paper is for everyone pooping themselves. They're so scared. And I concur. And Michael says Sleepy Joe Biden cannot wipe his ass. I cannot confirm or deny, but that's funny anyway. Okay, let's see. Grandma Ninja, what's up on Twitch, says I think dinosaur went extinct due to lack of food supply and diseases eventually. I think so too. With the what you call it, the kind of the blotting out the sun effect with the dust in the sky or whatever the hell it was, right? There's definitely some long-term effects with that as well. It wasn't just like the impact itself. Let's see. Dexter Stan, next time you talk aliens, I will call in. It was a busy day today. No problem. I understand. Thanks for showing up. We're going to get to aliens in a sec. Oh, okay. Let's see. All right, so there we go. That clip works. So let's play EMP number 3, and then we'll get to aliens in a sec here. So we're about a couple hours mark, so we're about perfectly on time, which is nice. Nice to be on time. So we're gonna play another clip or two about EMPs, and then we're gonna get to aliens. So what happens? We're talking about the end of the world tonight. I can't say it. Slow down, Mike. Slow down. Take a breath. Okay, slow down. This is not a race. All right, we're talking about the end of the world tonight. And so in a tongue-in-cheek way, in a way to maybe get our mind off the actual current pandemic situation, we're kind of looking at some of the other ways where we might end up in a horrific situation. So, and again, I want to point out this is important to be prepared. So I think, again, like I said, I've said this a couple times now, last show and this show, and I think it's really the theme of the show is that this is sort of a dress rehearsal for the actual end of the world, right? Like we start to see how prepared or unprepared we might be, see some of the things that maybe we're lacking in our disaster planning, right? Like these sorts of things. So I think, in a lot of ways we can look at this and be hopeful for the future, because we know a lot of things that we could do better for next time, right? Because this was definitely, I think it spooked a lot of people. It shocked us to the core that society can break down rather quickly. So anyway, it's kind of a good idea to reassess your disaster plans and your level of prepping or not prepping. And shout out to the preppers out there that actually were ahead of the game and were like, nope, I'm good. Just locking the doors. So there is some actual value in that. So don't call your prepper friends maniacs or nutters or tinfoil hat artists, because I think what is happening right now just basically justified all the paranoia. So at least for prepping. All right, so there we go. Part 3 of EMP. This is what happens when the world ends with an EMP strike. So part 3 and action.
Depending on the scale of the EMP and the effectiveness of the EMP strike, the problems could last years to come. And this would be a long-term SHTF event in every way we can possibly think of. It could mean no food, no water, no sewage, restricted medical help. People may be able to handle not being able to use the toilet or whatever for a while, but with no food, no water, and no medical help, people become very unpredictable and very dangerous. Peter Price stated a while back, the electric grid and other critical infrastructure is the technological and societal Achilles heel of the electronic civilization. While gridlock in Washington has prevented the federal government from protecting the national electric power infrastructure, threats to the grid and the survival of the American people from an EMP and other hazards are looming ever larger. Grid vulnerability to an EMP and other threats is now a clear and present danger. It's been estimated that around 90% of the population would die off within a year or so. The die-off would probably start almost immediately and would last a long time to come. People who need constant medical attention, people who are caught in the violence, people like that would probably be the first to go, and then followed by malnutrition, diseases, common medical conditions that are treatable today, but they wouldn't be in some sort of long-term grid down situation. That would all add to the die-off. After all of that, it's difficult to say when the rebuilding process would begin, because it all depends on how things unfold following the EMP strike and why it happened and how it happened in the first place. What other countries were involved, whether they're good or bad, helping or hurting in our situation. How effectively does the government or whatever the government is at that point, how effectively do they handle the situation? and what effects does it have on the economy in general. All of those are going to play a role in how things unfold that year or two after something major like this happens.
There you go. So that's kind of from the prepper perspective, right? Like we're talking about. So again, if you're just joining us, I'm talking to you, Tamron. What's up, Tamron? Thanks for showing up, Tamron, on Facebook. And anybody else who might have joined us that is kind of lurking and not really chatting there. We're talking about the end of the world tonight, and in a way that's not pandemic style, right? And we've all heard enough about pandemics. So I thought, let's go a little bit darker. Let's go a little bit deeper. Let's go a little bit more cataclysmic and talk about the way the world might end. It's not a pandemic, and kind of in a thumb in our nose at the universe type of way. So anyway, that's what we're talking about tonight, and that was what happens with an EMP. And if you're just showing up, you're just in time, because we're about to talk about how the world might end with aliens invade. So that's coming up next. So stay tuned for that. This is usually where I hit the commercial button, right, to make you guys wait. Like, oh damn, now I got to wait for commercial to get to the aliens. No. We don't do commercials here, because that's for what would you call that? That's for corporate cucks. Let's say that. Let's go with the millennial term. Corporate cucks is what commercials are for. We don't do that. Here we go. So here's part 4 of the EMP, which is an electromagnetic pulse, kind of knocks out all the electronics in a particular area, and what the world might look like if it happened in that regard. One more time. Play this clip. We're going to get to the aliens after that. I want to hear from you, though. So if you guys have takes on this, we've talked about a lot of things this show, like we always do, right? Like we have dozens of links. We talk about all kinds of things. It's wide-ranging. Nobody tells us what to talk about. We talk about what we want to talk about. And so we open that to you. It's extended to you. We do it live for that reason. We think it's important to include you in the conversation. So if you want to be part of the show, you know what to do. 702-957-1037. Join the Discord. You can find both of those at troubleblinds.org. And join us. Even if you don't want to join the show tonight, join the Discord, because there's a lot of good chat that happens. People share links. There's a good community in there. A lot of smart people, a lot of good people. Just ask that you be polite and respect everybody's opinions, and don't call each other names. It's as simple. That's simple. The golden rule. No problem. I'm not even religious, but we're talking about the golden rule. What's up, Tamron? Hello. I see you there. Okay, so let's go. One more clip about EMPs on how this might shake out, and then we'll get to the aliens, and then we'll get to the alien. We'll get to the alien invasions. You guys have waited this long. Here we go. Last EMP clip, and then we get to aliens.
Eventually, though, the survivals will start pulling together and putting all the pieces back in place. At some point, society is going to start to rebuild. There's going to be communities that will form, and the quote-unquote new normal will begin. We would have sort of a jump start, I suppose, as long as we could get the electric grid up and running, at least in some places, because we do have this technology, we do have this equipment and everything, but we need to be able to use it. So it really depends. It's really questionable how long something like this would take and what it would look like. But one thing is for sure, it wouldn't look like it looks today. It would be a slow, long rebuilding process. Eventually it would get there, but we just don't know how long. And that's why preparing for long-term stuff, not just having the food storage, but knowing how to grow your own food and do things like that to sustain yourself after the hard times, basically.
There you go. And so again, like from a prepper standpoint, you have this is an EMP, right? Like things change. Anyway, I think you guys get the point. We don't need to belabor that this second to final point here. We got one more point. We're going to get to aliens, but I think I want to point this out to everybody. This is important. Like I said, this is a dress rehearsal for the end times. My opinion, one man's opinion, one knucklehead. I'm not educated in any particular astounding, amazing way. All right. I'm just literally one knucklehead on the internet with a microphone. Okay. So take that for what it is. But personally, I don't think this is the end. All right. So do what you got to do. Stay safe, stay positive, look out for each other. And I think we'll get through this just fine. Okay. So this is not the end times. What I'm kind of pointing out, though, is that these other things, the actual nuclear winter, what I say, hold on, let's go through the list here of what we started with. So we got a meteor strike, we got like nukes, atomic war, nuclear war. We got an EMP strike that would actually not, it would be the slow wave killing everybody, breaking down the entire infrastructure on an electronic basis. Those are the things, right? Like we've got bigger fish to fry. We got bigger things to worry about. this little pandemic, this little pandemic, we'll be able to get through this. Let's just stick together, be safe, take care of each other, and we'll be able to get through it. That's kind of my point. But also, think about how you may have been panicked, and think about how you may have had to run down to the grocery store for this or that. I think it makes a great case for, like I said, kind of making some check marks in your disaster preparedness planning, right? Realizing where you were deficient. So we can take this as a positive and kind of look at it that way, and maybe be a little more prepared next time. Maybe something a little worse happens. So of course this is unprecedented, thing of a lifetime. But who knows, right? Like given the tinfoil hatness of not trusting the government, maybe they'd like to make this type of thing the new normal, right? This is Project Bluebeam. This is these sorts of things, right? Where false flag attacks. Who knows? Like, it doesn't matter, right? Like, none of that stuff matters because we can't control it. What we can control is how we prep ourselves, how we keep ourselves safe, how we keep our family safe and our friends safe and our community safe. We can control that ourselves. So there we go. That's kind of my point, right? Hopefully making sense here. Hopefully getting to the point. But now it's alien time. You guys waited this long. Let's do aliens. What's up? Are you there, buddy? Are you there, Ash? We're going to do this? Get in here. All right, we got Sean. We got Sean from Canada. I think we're fixed. What's up, Sean? You there, buddy? Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Say it. Talk. I hear you. Talk. Can you hear me?
Mike, can you hear me? Or
I hear you just fine. Can you not hear me?
Going?
Yeah. Can you not hear me? Oh shit, we got a problem if you can't hear me.
Not muted.
Okay. All right. All right, hold on. This is my fault. Whatever was going on there. Hold on. Let me push up a couple buttons here. All right, so we're going to get to aliens right now. I'm trying to bring in Sean from Canada, our favorite Canadian. I think Ash said he wanted to jump in here for a minute too, so he's got some time. But let's see. What am I missing here? What am I missing? I think let's try this. One more time. Let's try this. Testing 1 2. Let's say
Mike,
something. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I hear you fine. Can you hear me?
For some reason, I cannot hear you.
Perfect. That's even better. That's the best way this goes. Hold on, let me push a couple buttons here. Let's see. The comms. What we got? Discord. No. It should be out. 1 2 1 2. Testing. Can you hear me now? Testing. Can you hear me now? Test 1 2. Test 1 2. No. All right. Okay. I broke something. Apparently, I
might be
Discord's
a few
broken.
seconds behind there, Mike. I'll try and listen on Facebook.
Okay, no problem. Sorry about that. Everything's broken tonight. Well, at least Discord's broken. Because this is the thing, right? I don't have somebody to test Discord with me before we start. But anyway, here we go. We're going to do aliens now. So, all right. So, another way the world could end, right? This is how we started this, right? The meteor strike, the nuclear type exchange with fallout and all kinds of nastiness, which we have evidence of because we had a couple things happen in Japan. Very unfortunate, terrible. The EMP, which has not happened anywhere as far as I'm aware, at least on a major scale, but that could also be terrifying, kind of zombie apocalypse style, where people are killing each other for food because 90% death rate type of thing. That's what they say, right? That's what they say. All right, so here we go. Let's do one a little more out there, speculative, and talk about what happens if aliens actually invade the Earth, right? Like we talk about all kinds of crazy stuff here, right? So let's narrow this down to flesh and blood, ancient alien style aliens show up, right? Not this interdimensional business. This is we got to narrow it down. Independence Day type scenario. We have motherships kind of float out of nowhere. They were cloaked until they got here. They uncloak and then they start parking themselves over major cities in the world, kind of like that, checkmate. The line from that movie, Checkmate, the chess match. Okay, so here we go. Let's play this one clip, part 1 of Alien Invasion, and see how this goes. And as always, we want your take, we want your opinion. We got Sean here from Canada. We got Ash, I believe, as well, that we're gonna add to this final segment, and we want to include you. So you know what to do. Give us a call. I'll put the phone number up as we play this clip. And Alien Invasion Part 1 action.
In those files, in those real-life X-files, as we called them, there were sightings from police officers, from military personnel. There were sightings backed up with military radar.
Is invasion something that personally concerns you at all? Is it something that you worry about?
Any civilization that has developed viable interstellar travel is going to have better technology than we do. In a universe nearly 14 billion years old, what are the chances that alien invaders are going to have a technology just a couple of 100 years ahead of ours. And as the sci-fi writer Arthur C. Clarke once said, any technology sufficiently advanced from our own will be indistinguishable from magic. That is what we will be facing. And it's not just going to be robots and death rays. It will perhaps be technologies that we haven't even conceived of and almost certainly have zero defense against.
Do you think the world's governments are putting enough resources into UFO studies?
I don't think enough is being done about this. I'm not sure there's a neat fix here. I don't think there's a simple way to defeat an alien invasion. There are one or two people who have put down a few ideas on paper. The obvious one is the SETI Institute. They have something called the Declaration of Principles. But really, this says little more than what they...
I'm killing that. I hear it. I hear it just like you hear it. Sorry about that. Sometimes there's these files end up a little bit too large or whatever, so they freak out on the yeah. And we play them back as you guys are aware. Okay. Anyway, live shows. This shit happens. But there you go. All right. So we have alien invasion. Go ahead. I know. I'm gonna give this a nice little lead because Sean can't hear me on Discord. But Sean, what do you think? What's your take on alien invasion? And yeah, may as well go ahead. Yeah, this one's for you, buddy. Let it rip. Alien invasion. He's a couple seconds behind. Listening on the stream. Testing 1, 2. Alien invasion. Okay, it's not working. Okay, Discord's broken. So, all right, here we go. I'm going to move you out, Sean, because we can't. I think the delay is too big. If you got like Google Voice or something, call in on the phone line because that works. So try and do it that way. If you can get not a long distance charge from Canada, you might be able to do it with Google Voice if you have it there. I don't know. The draconian Canadian stuff. Anyway, so you get the point. That was Nick Pope. Everybody's familiar with this guy. He's from the UK Ministry of Defense, and where that video came from, I think it's not how stuff works. Or anyway, I'll link it. I'll link where the video came from in the on YouTube below after we're done. All the links are always there. You can follow up on me. I'm not making this shit up. But anyway, you get the point, right? So he's kind of saying that. So the question is, do you think the government is doing enough to maybe be aware? Or be prepared for some sort of alien invasion, and I think the answer to that's obvious. I think it's just what would you say? I think it's so far out there outlandish, like an actual direct invasion by extraterrestrials, that I think we can't be prepared. I don't know that you can be. I think that's the take. That's my take anyway. But again, what do you guys think? One more time, we got a few minutes left for you. So what's your take on alien invasion and the end of the world? Right. So we're talking about end of the world. We did the meteor strike. We did the nuclear winter. We did EMPs. Now we're on to aliens, an actual alien invasion. So what happens if that's the case? Do you think we have any sort of shot? Do you think it's worth even talking about because it's like like a little league baseball team playing against a major league baseball team, right? Like it's going to be that sort of spanking. Who knows, right? I think that's the problem. I think that's what we end up like how different or how bad or how far ahead or behind do you think we are from like an alien? Sherry says no invasion will happen. Okay, fantastic. I'll take your word for that. But look, we're in the speculation mode here right now. So let's say in case it did. What if it did? How do you guys feel about that? One more time, give us a call, 702-957-1037. You can click the Discord link, find both of those on troublewinds.org, and you can be on the show and tell me what you think about alien invasion. So Sherry says that no invasion will happen, so you think the aliens are out there looking out for us, which would kind of be the zoo hypothesis, right? Where they kind of, they're there, and they know we're there. They're just kind of staying out of the way and maybe helping us a little bit. So there's that. So I hopefully cross your fingers that that's maybe the case. Let's see. We got a couple good. What's up, Penny? Thanks for showing up, Penny. Hope you're feeling better. Let's see. Who else we got? Let's see. Yeah, nope. Discord's broken. So if you guys want to call into the phone line, please do. Discord's broke. We had Ash and Sean on there. It didn't work. Okay. Dexter Stan says, I agree with him. We're at time's mercy when it comes to our tech. And yeah, exactly right. Like if the aliens want to dominate us, I think they really can. Tamron, what's up? Says, don't you think the whole virus was introduced to hide something bigger? That could be, but that's very conspiratorial. So you would think that they would save that for something really large to be hidden, right? So if you got ideas on what they're trying to hide, where again the conversation is open, we'll explore that as we go, and this whole thing develops. I'm open to that idea. I'm not saying that's not the case. I'm saying that it would have to be a very big thing they're trying to hide, right? Like a very big thing. You don't just like release a pandemic and then yeah. Anyway, all right. So here we go. We're going to take this phone call and then we're talking about aliens. We're talking about alien invasion. And do you think we have a chance? Do you think that aliens will actually invade, or like what are the odds? Like Vegas betting odds. I'm not a sports bettor, so I can't give you negative 500 or whatever those type of odds. I have no idea. But let's say percentage wise, you think it's like a 10% chance we'll get invaded by aliens in like the next 1,000 years, or do you think it's less than that? More than that? I don't know. Anyway, there you go. Just food for thought. We're shooting the shit here, talking about the end of the world. And alien invasion came up. Who knew? Who knew? All right, here we go. We're going to this phone call. Christian, what's up, my man?
Hello?
Christian, you're on Trouble Minds with Mike.
Hey, yeah.
Where are you calling from, my man? Yes.
Hey, man. I'm calling from Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, that's right. Christian from Phoenix, Arizona. How are you? What's on your mind tonight, my man?
Oh, good. Just a lot of things going on here. Like, I'm pretty sure it's happening all over the country. But, yeah, how you were talking about aliens, that stuff. But I personally think that this goes back for thousands of years. And, I mean, there's been a lot of stuff that have been read online and, speaking different websites and stuff about the royalty has bloodlines back to Mesopotamia and the Anunnaki and all that. Like, all these leaders have connection towards, like, back then. Like, they've been chosen already. Like, we don't choose our government. We don't choose our kings. We don't choose our whatever it was through the times, the past 2,000 years. They already. What I was watching videos of all that stuff too, and a lot of people saying that it's like a pre-made already, and also the Illuminati and all this stuff, right? They all had plans, and it took several hundred years, and they're talking about a one world government and all that, and what's happening today. And I'm pretty sure there's how they say there's puppets and there's the president and there's all that. Well, I think it's a higher thing, like the reptilians and all that. Like, it's a big thing from what I've searched on and read, but it's all one purpose, I think. And a lot of people do know that, and they understand too. And I hopefully they have the same perspective I have. That
Okay, wait.
it's all been planned.
So what's the purpose? Wait, what's the one purpose there? Like carve it down to one thing. Are you talking the one world government, and it has to do with aliens somehow? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Like, they were the main, like the main ones. I mean, obviously they're smarter than us, and somehow they made us. I guess some people say, some people deny, but I personally think that, like an evolution. Like, you think that we became evolution within the last, that time and became this smart in a period of 100,000 years? No. Like, I personally don't think that. And a lot of people know that are listening tonight. And it's like, no, there's no way that we could become that smart in that short time period. We had to be jump-started somehow in some way. And I know this. I've been waiting for this topic for a while too. Like, I'm just talking about like unknown alien origins and stuff like that. Like everybody talks about Anunnaki. For me, pretty much because I've searched into it, and a lot of it seems to be true. Like, because they put the facts out there. It's just what you want to see and what you want to believe. But the facts are out. They're there, and it's either for us to choose to believe if they are or not. Like I told last time I called in, I'm Christian, I guess, very Christian, and stuff like that in that sense, but we can't be that stupid to think that we're the only civilization that are this smart, like to think that in the whole universe, that we are, our own origin has been probably 200,000 years, you could say maybe, as being from finding fire to creating weapons, I guess, to hunt and other ways to do that. I mean, not saying that we're stupid. I'm just saying that above all, we had to have some kind of intervention in between that, over the past 100,000 years,
Yeah, no, of course. I don't think anybody that's actually any sort of even intellectual in any way would disagree that there's some sort of alien life out there. I think the argument becomes: is it microbes? Is it like how prevalent, how intelligent? Like do they know we're there? Like there are larger questions here. I don't think anybody denies there's extraterrestrial life, at least not seriously, right? I just don't think.
Yeah.
I think it's come to the point now that it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that there is extraterrestrial life in one way or another, right? Like I'm pretty sure in the next couple years probably we're about to announce that there's life on Mars, or at least remnants of life on Mars, and so that's coming, and that's like the next planet over. That's as close as it damn gets, and so there's like billions of planets out there. So I mean, yeah, I think that in and of itself is just the way it is. We have to learn to accept it. We're not the center of the universe. We never have been, and we never will be, because that there's entities that probably have millions of years of evolution on us if they've stayed around that long. So let me read this. Let me read this comment to you real quick, and then you can finish up here. So Penny says, "Is this how the one world government will provide full alien disclosure? Shelves wiped out. We're all sat at home. We're all stuck at home in front of our TVs together with our families." Yeah. Right? Anyway, there you go. Just wanted to read that.
Yeah.
So, right? Does that make sense? That makes sense. Great
Yeah.
comment there. Thank you.
It
Thank
does.
you, Penny. Yeah. Go ahead and finish up, man. Sorry.
Yeah, so the last thing I want to say is about 30 seconds. But all this thing has been happening for the last, we could say, 300 years since this country became a country. They've been trying to unite us, I guess, in one way or another. And there's the basis of the United States when they did the Declaration of Independence, when they said that the First Amendment and Second Amendment was for arms. They've been trying to take our guns for a while, slowly, for the past 40 years, I guess, for our safety. And there's movies that say about it, and they make comments about it. And there's one good one that says how much security are you gonna take? I mean, how much safety for security? In one way or another. They're gonna take care of us. Okay, no guns. And what if the tyranny becomes the government? And that's the reason why we have guns. A lot of people, it's like small things. It's like knowledgeable because we learn in school, but also it's like so easy to say. That's why this is the last country that has mainly open carry, not open carry, but open to have guns as a countrywide. For that reason, when the Declaration was written, I personally think it was for that reason, and they've been trying to work at it for the last 300 years, whether it's the Illuminati or the Skulls and Bones or whoever organization is there, the main bankers, because at the end of the day, it's money, and they're trying to take over, but it's not so easy, because in every household, there's got to be one gun, mainly, maybe, but you're talking about 200 million Americans that have guns that the government can't take over, and it's not so easy to say, And another thing is imagine if that actually happens, if they try to take over. Let's say one of my cousins is a police officer and have family members in the military. Are they gonna follow their orders, or are they gonna send NATO, other countries? Because I heard about that stuff too. They're gonna send other countries to invade us to make it less easier to take over us, because we have values. A lot of people that are in the United States have values and stuff like that. We're family. Are they gonna try to take over us? And I'm sure they went to their minds. I'm sure that their cousins or brothers or uncles are not gonna kill their own family because of the fact that a foreign country is trying to do something else. And that's something a lot of people
yeah, I'm with you.
They've been thinking about it. It's reasonable.
Yeah, I got you.
But
I think in the end, people killing people is just not productive. Like if you're a dictator, if you're an asshole, if you're the dickhead of all dickheads, yeah, it is. It's productive, right? But the rest of us, we don't want to die for no reason, for some stupid your political BS, for your bag of money. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're individuals just like you. Like talking about the elite or the dictators or the people in power. It's not cool. It's not kosher. I don't think it's productive, and I just don't think we should be doing it. Period. Like, I think we're beyond that. We should be beyond that at this point. It's embarrassing. It's and again, maybe that's why the aliens don't invade us, because they think we're not worthy.
Exactly.
Why they haven't showed up,
think,
right?
I think this epidemic is happening is gonna somehow bring us together, I guess you could say, because of the epidemic, like it happened back in the 20s. But that's what they're trying to do, and it's not that big because a lot of people have died from regular flu in the past year, like normal, And there hasn't been an epidemic, but then they bring this new thing to make people scared and people buy things and stuff. I mean, I went to the store the other day, and I went to several stores. I spent like $100 just on food, baby wipes, stuff like that, for the family. And it's like the people are making it worse. Also, the social media.
Yeah.
Like not social media, but like
Agreed.
The TV and like the main people are making it worse for people. They're like, oh man, you need to stock up and shit and all this. I'm like, it's not like that. But
Agreed.
I
agree.
don't know. It's a bigger picture, and a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah, agreed, 100%.
Well, they
So
do, but they
public
just
service
not
announcement from Michael Strange, guys. Don't hoard it up. Like, you know what I mean? We have to take care of everybody. If you buy all this shit up, then think about the guy behind you or the gal behind you, or the family behind you that can't buy the things, like maybe stock up a little bit, buy like maybe 20% more than you think you need. The grocery stores are still open. The stuff will still be there. But if you wipe it out and have like a pallet, like 2-3 pallets in your garage, all you're doing is you're screwing your neighbors, and that's not what this is about. That's not what this should be about. So
exactly.
Just don't do it. Like go ahead, get stocked up a little bit. If the end of the world comes, boy, there's nothing we can do about it. Like literally the end will come and the end will be here, and everybody will be out of food. We'll be on the same boat. So just don't do it. You're literally screwing your neighbors. You're screwing old people that can't get there. You're screwing people that mimight be sick or immunocompromised. Don't do it. Don't do it. Like get a little bit. Yeah, that need it. People that need it. Like anyway. So we're gonna move on here. Anything else, real quick, Christian, before we finish the show up?
There's nothing much, but it was awesome. I love this conversation we had. So I know there's like people out there listening to this, and I know they are aware of all this stuff, and for them to know, it'll be awesome. Like so other people are saying about it, they're calling in. They're not the only ones thinking about it. We're not the crazy ones, you could say.
We're definitely not the crazy ones. Definitely not. Right on. Okay, I appreciate that, my man. That's Christian from Arizona. I appreciate you listening. Appreciate the call. You're the best, my man. We'll catch you on the next time. There it is. As simple as that. You pick up the phone, you dial the number, you get on the show. Thank you, Christian, for the call. Thank you, Joe, for the call tonight. Thank you. I'm gonna forget somebody. Who else do we have? Larry from Oklahoma. We had Joe from Florida. We had Larry from Oklahoma. We got Christian from Arizona. See, I got everybody. Pretty sure that's everybody. We had Sean from Canada, our favorite Canadian, try and dial in, but my fault. Discord's all dicked, so you have to dial the phone number. So anyway, let's finish up Alien Invasion here. I'm going to talk a little bit, but again, this show is our show, so don't take it as I'm going to just talking to talk. We're having a conversation here. We have time for you. We're all holed in for the most part, right? Some people are working for home. Some people, there's a lot happening right now. So we have time for you. If you guys want to be part of the show, we'll go a little bit long. If you want to call, please call 702-957-1037. It's there's the phone number. Join the Discord. You can find both of those at troubledminds.org, and get on the show just like that. Christian, Joe, Larry. They're on the show tonight. It's as easy as that. You pick up the phone, you dial the phone number, and you're on the show. And okay, so let's finish with Alien Invasion, right? So imagine, we're talking about the end of the world tonight, and we're talking about it again, tongue-in-cheek style, kind of like a "We Are Humans, Hear Us Roar, Us Be the Universe" type thing. It's not really not meant to be morbid, but it's just kind of something to talk about, right? Like maybe take our mind off the pandemic that's happening. Maybe the grocery store, the people waiting in line for tomorrow's groceries, like this type of thing, right? Like there's some really bizarre badness happening out there that if everybody just steps back a sec, takes a deep breath, chills out, and there's going to be enough for everybody. Our truck drivers are working their asses off trying to get stuff there. Our factories are pumping out Triscuits and Cheez-Its as fast as they can. Like, don't worry, guys. Like this is not the time to panic. Okay, we're not there yet. Trust me. When the show goes off the air entirely, it's time to panic. Because I will have sandbags on my doors and loading up my guns. We won't be doing this show, right? If we're on the air, don't worry. It's okay. Again, one man's opinion. I'm no authority here. I'm just saying. Come on. Back off. Back off the almond milk, okay? Let people buy some eggs. Come on, guys. Okay, anyway, so let's continue. Let's continue on the rest of the good night, Jared. Thanks for coming, man. Thanks for showing up tonight. Good night. Okay, so let's finish up the alien invasion here. So if the world ends, and we talked about meteors tonight, we talked about maybe nuclear strikes, we talked about EMPs. Now we're on aliens, and if they do invade, what does that look like, and what does it mean for us? Do you think we have a chance? You think technology-wise we could even bother really fighting against them? What do you think that means? And so not only that, like we mentioned earlier, like we mention all the time, the alien invasion itself, right, is probably, I would think, okay, just me, if I turned on, say, CNN, and they were like reporting flying saucers, right, like kind of lining up like Independence Day style, I would be like, oh, hell no, right, it's happening. But I wouldn't initially believe it was the aliens. I would think there was some sort of a false flag Project Bluebeam type thing going on. And I would need to freaking see that shit with my own eyes, because if I didn't and I couldn't verify, I'm not so sure I'd believe it. I'm not so sure, right? Government, you hear me? You got to convince me. You got to have a little green man knock on my door. I'm not going to instantly be like, the aliens are here, all right? I'll go load up the guns. I'll put the sandbags up against the door, but come on. Okay, anyway, yeah, don't panic. Rolf is right. Don't panic. Don't panic, guys. Don't panic. Okay, here we go. Let's go. Let's play with the rest. A couple more clips here. If the aliens come, this is kind of what it might look like. Let's hopefully the memory leak hasn't destroyed these clips. Let's go with part 2. I think I didn't play this one yet. Correct me if I have. I think maybe I'll know. And action.
You'd actually have to have everyone agree, yeah, this is an alien.
Say so we see just some giant Independence Day large craft hovering over Chicago.
Right.
What does the United States do in that situation?
Well, the key thing that the government would want to do in that moment would be to try to get people in Chicago and outside of Chicago not to panic. Right. And also, if you're talking about an alien attack, an alien race that would presumably be technologically sophisticated enough to get to Earth would presumably also not just immediately land. Right. They wouldn't immediately be able to wipe us off the face of the Earth. Right. If they were able to recognize that fact, then presumably they would want more intelligence before they actually were to move in on us. The proper historical parallel would be to previous colonists from Europe who then went to the New World, went to Africa, went elsewhere, and wound up gobbling up large swaths of territory and killing large numbers of indigenous people from a variety of ways. I would, if I had to bet, is there a plan somewhere in some file cabinet in the Pentagon saying, this is what we're going to do if the aliens show up? Yeah, I would put my money on that plan existing.
Seth and Nick had way less faith in world
Okay, I'm going to fade that out because we're having some problems, obviously. It's one guy, one PC. Like, I'm juggling all the balls here. Sometimes you get a memory leak and then shit doesn't work. So anyway, you get the point, right? So he's saying we'd all need to agree on what an alien is. And then he's saying that he thinks definitely in some capacity there's a plan somewhere in a Pentagon file cabinet that there's an actual plan on how we combat some sort of alien invasion, right? And so think about how generic and general and stupid that would have to be. Just knowing that whatever happens, we probably have no idea, like even in our wildest dreams, what an alien invasion looks like. And so we have like it's like ants planning an invasion against humans, right? Like, think about it that way. I know the analogy is used a lot, but it's really probably accurate in my opinion, right? Is that like technology-wise, like the ants can prepare their ass off, knowing we're coming. It doesn't matter. We bring the bulldozer in, we just flip that thing up, throw it in the ocean, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? And they had no chance. They never had a chance. And so I think that's kind of what we're talking about here. Again, just speculating, like crazy ends of the world type situations. Tongue in cheek, aliens are here. We're fighting them. Again, this is not gloom and doom, guys. This is kind of pointing out the fact that this pandemic, as terrible as it might be, as unprecedented, and all these things. I think maybe it's time to not panic. It's time to have some little compassion for your neighbor, not stockpile all the toilet paper, all the milk and the eggs and the bacon. Like to take what you need plus a little bit more, and don't hoard shit, guys. Just don't do it, please. Well, do it. You know what I mean. Go down to the store. You'll see what I mean. It's grotesquely inconvenient at best, and it's people that need this stuff at worst. It's terrible. It's like people can't get what they need when they need it. Some people can only go out one time a week to get groceries, type of thing. Like you just don't know. Like different people's lifestyles, their health. There's so many things here that we need to take into account, and not just please don't go overboard. The rest of humanity is also there, and anyway, so on and so forth. I've said that 100 times now. It feels like, but you get the point. One man's opinion. I'm just a knucklehead on the internet with a microphone. Blah blah blah. Anyway, okay, let's try and play this last clip about alien invasion. If it sucks, well, we'll just talk it out. We'll just finish this talking it out. So here we go. So let's play this last clip. Alien Part 3, and what the invasion looks like if it happens. And I'm not optimistic at what this looks like for our outro music tonight, because I've probably got memory leaks and shit. But anyway, here we go. Let's play it, the last clip. Alien Part 3. What happens if the world ends with alien invasion? And let's see. These links, as always, will be below the YouTube video, and you can follow and watch the entire things. Just took out a minute or two from each one type of thing. So there you go. You get an idea. Here we go. And action.
But maybe being destroyed by aliens isn't the scariest thing. Maybe the scariest thing is never meeting them at all. There's a theory that says there's a certain limit that civilizations can reach, and then it's destroyed. It's called the Great Filter.
People talk about great filters where, a society, an intelligent species gets to some point where they become a danger to themselves and may wipe themselves out. I find it a very, indeed, dystopian point of view.
There might be some super predator out there, perhaps biological, but perhaps some machine created by a long dead intelligence out there wiping out civilizations as they emerge, because that's what it was programmed to do by creators that might now themselves be extinct. Maybe the alien exterminators turned on their own creator.
Maybe that happened to alien life billions of years ago, and maybe we're next. Perhaps the universe is littered with civilizations that die too soon to ever meet another. But Seth Etsetti had a more optimistic outlook about what aliens could say about the future of our civilization.
One thing that you might potentially learn out of picking up a signal, given that the guys at the other end, whatever they are, are more advanced than you are, whatever these aliens are, they're more advanced than you are because you're picking up their signals rather than the other way around. That tells you something that says, well, look, these guys are technically more advanced than we are, and consequently they must also have developed things like bombs, or they may have had problems with climate change. I mean, they may have had all the kind of problems that our own technology has produced for us, and yet they're still there. They're still there broadcasting, right? Or at least the signal, when the signal left, they were still broadcasting. So maybe that's a reason for optimism to say, we can survive our own technological adolescence, as Carl Sagan used to call it.
Well, there you go. There you go. So maybe we do have our technological adolescence to get over. Maybe we have the Star Trek post-scarcity world to build together, and maybe one day we can, as a globe, as a planet, as a species together. It sounds corny and stupid. Hold hands, right? Like sing Kumbaya and get it right. Like not stop murdering people because of lines drawn on a map, or because of the color of people's skins and the rest of this, right? Like because of socioeconomic issues or problems are here or there, or dictators doing this or that. Like there's so many problems we have that we need to fix. That's again, let's say aliens and the zoo hypothesis, they're here and they're watching us. I personally would not blame them if they're like, wow, these people are like animals. Like, they're, for all the technology, for all the smarts, for all the things they think they are, they have no freaking idea yet. And so if they haven't contacted us, that Star Trek First Contact type of thing, maybe they're waiting for us to figure our own shit out. Maybe the alien disclosure is not about them, it's about us. And I think in the end, right? Like I said, let's be a little bit more compassionate. Please don't like hoard a pallet of toilet paper. I read on Twitter today, somebody, so I have, I'm plugged into a couple things in Las Vegas here, and somebody said, for the love of God, people in Vegas, please stop buying toilet paper. I have a grandfather that's on chemotherapy and he has diarrhea all the time, and I can't find a damn roll of toilet paper anywhere in the valley, right? Like, these are the type of things you need to keep in mind, right? Don't go insane, please. Please. There are people out there that are less fortunate than you, less fortunate than us, and there will always be that, right? Just like there's people more fortunate, there are people less fortunate as well. Like, and no matter how bad you think you have it, so please, don't do it. Just refrain a little bit. We're going to be okay. In my opinion, we're going to be okay. I don't think there's any reason for us to freak out here. So, stock up, plus 20%. Leave the grocery stores for the people that really need it. It's important. It's important, guys. This is how we stick together. This is how we make sure that there's more for all, right? This is that post-scarcity world. We live in it basically in the United States, right? There's levels of poverty, of course, but for the most part, right? Like, you can go into a grocery store and get anything from anywhere in the world just about easily, under normal circumstances, of course. But like, there's places in the world where you can't. That's not the case, right? Like now, this isn't actually a good example for us, uppity Americans. Is that you go into a grocery store now and you're like, shit, they don't have this and they don't have that. In many countries around the world, this is normal. It's privileged as hell. Again, save some for the common man, guys. Please do. Yeah, Dexter Stan, what's up on YouTube, says keyword relax. Yeah, let's relax, guys. Let's chill out. Let's save some for everybody else too. Okay, so anyway, you get the idea. I've said enough. What does it seem like to you with alien invasion? Do you think alien invasion is possible? Do you think aliens are here? Do you think that if they are, they're just watching us, waiting for us to figure our shit out, like I said, or do you think they're already here? They've infiltrated us with like the reptilian agenda and the rest of this, right? Like, we've heard all this stuff. We talk about this stuff. I'm not a proponent of any of them. I'd like to entertain all of the thoughts, have my kind of feet in all the universes, and maybe consider that they're all possible. And I think that's part of the conversation here. I think it's why it's important. I think it's why we're going to keep doing it. It's just it's too important. It's just not. We're not Fox News. We don't have sponsors telling us what to say, or CNN, or any of these other assholes. We just say what we want to say. Right? And we look at the propaganda, we treat it as such, that it might be propaganda, where these other guys will never do that. They will never, ever do that. And so, anyway, soapbox, blah, blah, yada, yada. This guy with a microphone on the internet, I've said it a dozen times, I'll say it again. But we're done. There's alien invasion. Sorry if it was a little bit anticlimactic, because, well, we don't really have aliens invading. But I think it was worth adding to the mix here, to the pile. But okay, so anyway, the way this show goes, this conversation continues. We're not done tonight. We're done tonight, just about. We're gonna try and see if we can play some outro music and finish this up. But this conversation continues. We'll be back on Friday night. And pay attention, stay close, follow on Twitter, follow on, join the Discord, troubleminds.org, click the Discord link, because maybe I might add a stream, and we go like a third stream per week. We just kind of do news, because the news cycle is overflowing with bullshit right now. And so it might be important to kind of just have a kind of an open topic show, like kind of go, like rifle through the news, spend some extra time with phone calls if you guys have some stuff you want to share or talk about, because news is developing so fast right now that we just can't keep up, for one. And two, I think, a lot of people need a medium to kind of let this out, let the steam out a little bit, and not specifically end up, with normies rolling their eyes at you. Even though now, right, all the preppers are saying, I told you so. So anyway, let's not do the I told you so much, but you get the point. So anyway, this conversation continues. We're going to finish this up on Friday night. And again, per usual, you guys know what to do. You'll know what to do. Here we go. There is a new outro music thanks to my buddy AJ Dare. He's the best. We're going to play this, and let's see if this outro, without skipping, without the Matrix, the glitch in the Matrix. As we finish this up, here we go. Outro music. Yeah, that's right. No glitches. At the end of this, you're listening. Oh shit, there's one. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. Glitch in the Matrix. I'm your host, Michael Strange. I'm here without Ash. He'll be back soon. Sorry, Sean, we couldn't get you on. Appreciate that, our favorite Canadian. Larry, Christian, Joe, thanks for calling in tonight. See, I remembered everybody. And there we go. There we go. I think we're at the end of this. And here's what you do, guys. If you like this show, just tell somebody. Say, hey, come check this out. You might learn something. You might like the community. You might like the positive vibes. Hopefully we do enough positive vibes to bring people back. That's the idea here. Like you turn on CNN or Fox and all they do is shit on other people. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to be good. We're trying to say, hey, look, post-scarcity starts with us. And we need to be loving of our fellow man, fellow woman, fellow aliens, fellow whatever. But anyway, that's what the show's about. Appreciate you guys hanging out. You're all the best. And we'll be back on Friday night. And stay tuned. Follow us on social media. TroubledMinds.org, our social media is up there, because maybe we'll sneak in a surprise show. And if you're not watching out for it, you won't know. Follow on Twitter. Follow on Facebook. Follow on everywhere. That's all on Troubled Minds. You can find us all there. Anyway, thanks for listening. You guys are the best. One more time, I'm Michael Strange. This is Troubled Minds Radio. Thank you for listening. Please share. Please do all the things, like all the things. Please be kind to each other. Because each other is all we've got. And there we go. Thanks for listening. From our Troubled Minds to yours. Have a fantastic night.